is it? Because I have no idea. Oh, let me see if I can find a live stream. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Well, let's mute it. Alright. And let's share it. And post. Alright. Okay, so I think I've got everything going. I'm gonna have to pull the chat out because seeing myself on screen is really distracting. Oh, that is so cool. Pop out chat. Alright. Now let's cover the screen so I can't see it. Alright. Maybe. Hold on. Give myself a thumbs up. Okay. So, hopefully it sounds okay. This is my second attempt at a live stream. The first time I tried to run it through the event manager in YouTube and it backfired dramatically. So, trying something different today. I'm going to just feed it straight in. I broadcasted it on social media, so there's that. I just hope I got everything set up right. Sounds great. Awesome. Phlegm. I can hear that it doesn't have the same noise reduction as using OBS, because right now I'm using XSplit Broadcaster, which has far more control over what I'm doing on YouTube, and it comes with a bunch of tools that I can use. So I like XSplit, and I just need to figure out the noise cancellation issue that I have, because OBS works so much better. So like I can do the live streams, or when I do videos, you can't hear the background. Like right now, you can hear the fan. I heard it when I was setting up the video. So, but with OBS, you don't, because it has all the noise reduction. I just have to go through XSplit and change all those settings. So, and I can see that there's a bit of a latency between streaming and talking. Coffee. So the two that are watching is me and Sam. Woo! Alright, hold on. Let me set this up real fast. There we go. There. Cool. I don't even know if Zoho promoted it. Hey, Skill Set, how's it going? Haven't seen it in a while, but then again, I haven't really been spending too much time on VidIQ's videos lately. I've been just so busy, especially when I'm. I spent the last week trying to get ready for going to WordCamp this weekend, and so we're working some extremely long hours. But yeah, there's that. So let me see. Let's start with WordCamp. Going great. I'm glad you're doing well. Oh yeah, I am. Well, doing. I don't know if it's well, but yeah, it could be better. But I'm really stressed, but I love my job, so it's not like it's really a bad thing. So there is that. I love what I do. It's just everybody else loves what I do as well, so I am constantly busy now. So, but hey, better to be busy than not at all. So I spent the week getting ready for WordCamp in Denver. It was pretty cool. I didn't have to fly anywhere, so we just drove from here to the University of Denver. It was awesome. Got to stay in the Garden Hilton at Cherry Creek, and it's an awesome hotel. You are an inspiration to us. Yes, stay busy. Well, thank you. It's it's nice to feel like I'm inspiring people. So I don't know. There's some days where I wish I had somebody that could inspire me. Maybe I should just go back and watch my own videos. Actually, there's a lot of people that I watch that help with inspiration. So, like, I watch Achievement Hunter not because of, well, I love games, but it's the personality behind them, and so they make me feel like, well, they sound like they have so much fun, and a lot of times I start feeling like I'm getting too old to have fun. But then people like that, and my hero, oh my god, my mind just went blank. Holy shit. I can't remember. Actor, Deadpool. For some reason I want to say Ryan Gosling, and I know that's wrong, and it's pissing me off that I'm like stumbling here. Please, somebody help me. Ryan Reynolds. God damn it. Alright. Well, I'm about a month older than Ryan Reynolds, and and if he can play Deadpool, then I can surely do more. And so it helps to watch some of these other people do some stuff that's fun. And it really gets past the whole feeling like I'm too old to do anything. But no, it's a work in progress. We are never too old, my friend. Time is an illusion. I don't know about illusion. It's relative. But the sands of the hourglass of time flow downward. And I'm slowing down, but you know, in reality, I am in far better physical shape than I was 30 years ago. I mean, I'm down to almost where I was when I first moved to Colorado, and I'm far healthier today. So there's a lot of things that I do nowadays that help get me past that whole mindset of being old. But my birthday was last week, and I started feeling a little sorry for myself, because if I figured I'd be farther than I am today at 43. Well, to be honest, when I was a teenager, I didn't think I was going to live to be 43. But it just gets disappointing sometimes, because I made a lot of bad decisions, and I could have done so much more with my life, and sometimes it gets to me, but not too bad though. It's getting much better. Now, going out to the WordCamps and stuff, and working with my client helps out a lot, I think. Like being out there in the public and engaging with other people and talking with stuff, or talking with people. One of the biggest reasons why I love doing YouTube isn't because I'm trying to get monetized or be a YouTube celebrity. It's my social interaction. I love interacting with people. I love helping people. I love chatting with people. So that's really what drives me. That's one of the biggest reasons why I love Twitch, and I really want to get back into gaming on Twitch again. But it's stuff like that helps out. You know, it's, you know, you get into connecting with some good people, and you start feeling pretty good about yourself. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so what about WordCamp Denver? It was awesome. I didn't have to fly. Stayed at the Hilton. Oh, the Hilton was a really nice hotel. It's the Hilton Garden, the Garden Inn Hilton, and it's on Colorado and Cherry Creek, and it's an amazing hotel. It's beautiful, but it is much smaller than all the Hampton Inns that I'm used to. Like, the Hampton Inns are like twice the square footage, both in the bathroom and in the bedroom. It's a nice hotel, but it's a bit small. It's modern. And oh god, the pillows though. The pillows were just amazing. I need to find where to get those pillows. It was just, oh, like put my head in a cloud. But since everything was here, I didn't have to worry about trying to ship all the swag and stuff that we were giving away at the WordCamp. So it was really convenient. And this was my second WordCamp, and it was definitely the largest that I've ever been to yet. And I'll be going to St. Louis October 31st, so I'll spend Halloween probably on a plane. but I'm kind of excited for that because it's the World WordCamp. It's supposed to be like huge, and there's going to be 10 of us there. So, and I don't know if we're like swapping out people and like having a team thing going on where some people sit out for the first half or what. But by the way, I managed to land a €15 per word client on TextBroker. Nice, good job. I'm not sure how the euros translate to USD, but I think it's pretty close to. God, I don't know. But I know that it's I'm gonna have to look that up now. That's gonna piss me off real quick. Euro, oops, to dollar. 0.1, whoops, 1.5. Oh, holy shit, that's nice. 17 cents a word. Wow. That is awesome. Oh, yeah, he even replied before I could look it up. 17 cents a word is amazing for TextBroker. That's awesome, dude. Do what you can to keep it. When you come across clients like that just throw money at you, it's amazing. Especially if it's really easy work. I had one client that used to give me about $35 for 1,000 words, 1,200 words, something like that. It was like, so it wasn't nearly 17 cents a word, but you get some of those, oh, that'd be $30 a word, 30 cents a word? Fuck. I'm tired. But yeah, 17 cents a word is amazing. And you are welcome. And if there's anything else I can do for you to help you with TextBroker, just let me know. I'm not on TextBroker nearly as much anymore because I'm spending so much time with this client, Shadow. And so I don't really get to spend too much time on TextBroker as I'd like. Here she comes. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's my kitten, Shadow. She thinks she needs to join. And I just heard Cloak coming up. Yep. No. God, fat cat. Thanks. I started working on TextBroker in February and got accepted as a 4-star author. Your content is really helpful. Well, thank you very much, and that's awesome. I'm excited for you. That's really amazing. So just keep up the good work, and I'll keep doing what I can to help you along. But yeah, I'm kind of jealous. 17 cents a word. And actually, right now, with my private client, I get paid quite a bit. But then again, I'm also doing quite a bit. I manage a team of writers. I have 2 social media people. I go to WordCamps all the time. Well, second WordCamp. I guess I'll be going to Omaha, Nebraska next month. St. Louis. And they like the videos that I did for the tutorial, so we might be doing those. And so there's a lot of stuff that my clients throwing at me for what they pay. So, but yeah, 17 cents a word, nothing to scoff at. That's awesome. In fact, I'll drink a Toasty with my coffee. Here's 2 more clients. I'll keep throwing money at you. 23, by the way, just grab. Oh, Universe, nice. So actually, that's not too bad for just 23, and you're doing 17 cents a word. That's nice. What did you study in the university, if you don't mind me asking? I went to college for graphic design and computer animation. I'm nowhere near that. Well, can't really say nowhere near because now I'm doing videos and stuff. So, not too much graphic design and animation, except for like the visuals and stuff I throw up on the clients' blogs and the video. But it's not what I wanted to do when I grew up. Like when I was 23, I was in college I wanted to make video games and movies. That was my drive. But I'm an American citizen, which means if you don't have the money to go, you don't go. And I ran out of cash. So business and marketing, nice. Freelance writing is only my side hustle to fund my main business. Hey, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes, man. There's nothing wrong with that. I used freelance writing to offset my paycheck when I was working at the school district. I did IT stuff, network administrator, but I was only making like $8 an hour. And by the time I quit, I was making $8.40 an hour. That's still not enough. So I was doing the freelance writing to help offset some of the money that I was losing on my paycheck. And eventually I started writing full time, and now it's what I do. That was 7.5 years ago. And I've learned a lot since then. But yeah, if you can use freelance writing to fund your business and get going with your business and marketing, that's awesome. Because that kind of stuff helps out. Yes, the grind is real. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And everything. But that's pretty cool. In fact, I don't know if I've heard of anybody making that much, so that's a pretty good jump. So hopefully they keep sending your work. Like if they did it like a daily basis, that would be awesome. Making bank, you'd probably just do work for like an hour or two and be done for the day. That's what I was doing, like with towards the end when I was working for writing on Text Broker before I started working with this client in 2017. I had one client that was sending me so much work and money that all I did was write their stuff, and I didn't even look at the open pool for like 3 or 4 months, and I was making $400 or $500 a week, so it was pretty good. They send you weekly direct orders. That's nice. Well, I hope they keep sending it to you. That's pretty amazing. But yeah, I'm a little jealous. Eventually you'll surpass what I've made. Oh, that'll take you a lot of work. I've done 5,580 something articles in Text Broker alone. That's not including Writer Access, Fiverr, and private clients. So I've been pushing about 8,000 pieces of content on the internet. So if you read anything regarding WordPress or computers and networking or business and marketing, there's a good chance you probably read something I wrote. I wrote a lot of stuff for a lot of people. And big reading. Oh yeah. You get excited. Like I remember when I get 4 stars for the first time, because I didn't know what I was doing. It was 2012. I just barely had to shut down my computer business, and I was feeling pretty bad, and I jumped into writing because my friend wanted to try it out, and they scored him at 3 stars, and he got all kinds of pissed off about it. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. So I went ahead and sat down and sent in my sample article, and they rated me a 3, which is fine because I went to school for graphic design. I didn't know what I was doing with writing. Never did anything with AP style. So I sat down, I got my 5 articles in, and they kept me at a 3. And about 8 months later, I hit my level 4 for the first time, and I was excited, and I got all kinds of, like, I blasted it on my Facebook page, and I'm like all kinds of excited because moving from a 3-star to a 4-star opens up a ton of different opportunities for you. I mean, you've got access to teams, you get more direct orders, there's more jobs in the open pool. So I was pretty excited. I was like, yeah, that's going to jump my hourly rate that I was making per hour, $3 per hour more. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. 3 days later, I lost it. Apparently, I wasn't writing at a 4-star level at that point. I got way too ahead of myself, and yeah. So it took me another 6 months to get my 4 back, and I've been at a 4 ever since. So, but yeah, that first time was kind of a heartbreaker. It was sad, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I love Text Broker. I'll keep using it forever. Well, I don't know forever, because I make quite a bit of money now. Sometimes I'll check Text Broker just for the hell of it, just to see what kind of orders are there, or if I get a direct order from someone, I'll log in and check it out. And so I still kind of do Text Broker a little bit, but just right now I don't have the time, and it's kind of sad because I love writing. Yeah, it's difficult to maintain that level of writing. It is. Once you get to the groove of it, though, it's becomes second nature after a while. That's why I'm a strong proponent of practicing. So, like, I took to blogging and just kept pushing out content on my own. I wasn't even really trying to get an audience. I was just practicing everything that the text broker editors would tell me to fix. So I'd take to a blog and practice it and drill it into my head about how to create content. And so it made a big difference. And once you get to that point, it just becomes second nature. Nowadays, I can look at like I look through the comment section of a video, or if I'm on Facebook and I see a meme, the only thing I see now are grammatical errors. I'm like, I did a video last week about it, and it's it kind of sucks because it sucks the fun out of stuff. All I want to do is fix everybody's writing, so I'm not really paying attention to what the meme or what the comment is about. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Do you know if I'm not using my text broker account in the future, will it be suspended? No. I've gone quite a while. I think the longest I've been without writing content was about 10 months, and it hasn't been suspended. So I think they keep it open for a while. I know Writer Access will shut down your account if you're inactive for 90 days. But with text broker, my account has been idle for extended periods of time, mostly because I was working with other clients, or I was writing on Writer Access, or when I was doing Fiverr, there was a stretch of about a month or two where there was absolutely nothing on text broker to write. This was back in 2012, 2013, 2014, 15, back in the day. Oh yeah, it's so you don't have to worry too much if you're away for a couple months and you come back to it. At least in my case, they haven't. But I don't know if I'm a special case or not, because I was also invited to level 5 teams. I worked really closely with several of the text broker editors and managers. So I was at one point one of their go-to people. In fact, they used to say that about me. They'd send me an email and say, okay, we're joining you to this. I'm like, cool. Nowadays, though, I don't get many of those messages anymore, simply because that it's been a while since I've done stuff. So, but that's okay. I'll push text broker till the day I die. Without text broker, I wouldn't be where I am today. Huh? Shadow. Don't do that. God, you annoying cat. You are so annoying. Nope, don't rub. You're gonna shock yourself on my mic with your static. Shadow. Yeah, it's my co-host. Couldn't get your attention at all last time I went live. Yeah. You are shedding. Alright. Okay. I'm live. Go play. Zero fucks are given. Alright. Get down. Go. No. Go. Thank you. Oh, she is too hot to be sitting in my lap. My office has like no air conditioning. Oh look. Email. Oh. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, sidetracked. I have no idea. Oh man. I don't know. So I'm thinking. I was talking about WordCamp. Oh, I got to sit in on a podcast by Jeff Gamet, and he's a spokesperson for Text Expander. It's a writing utensil for teams, and it looks like something I might write an article about. And pretty cool. But his talk at WordCamp was about podcasting. Now, something I really want to get into for Writer Sanctuary and for my client. So it was nice to sit in on that, and he broke down all the things that you need for podcasting, all the hardware, the software, the plugins for WordPress, everything. It was a great talk. What did you do at? I don't know. What did I do at ... Should I just fill in the blank? What did I do? Well, anyway, probably at WordCamp is what she was going with, but anyway. So, but he broke down the everything you need for a podcast, and it was really cool. And so I'm pretty jazzed about it. I do want to get a new mic from my videos anyway, and so I'm thinking about getting a Blue Yeti. I need to get the arm so that my poor broken stand here doesn't fall apart. He showed off some of the free software to use, like Audacity. So it looks like the only real thing that I have to worry about fund-wise would be the hosting, because you'd need to host the podcast on a separate server, otherwise it'll bog your website down. So that I kind of knew already. I was just hoping I could find a free web hosting service somewhere, but it looks like a lot of them suck. So that'll be some point in the future. I would love to do a podcast. I would love to do a podcast for all the things that I do, and I do quite a bit. So like maybe a drunken freelance writing rant. It'd be kind of fun. Get drunk on amaretto or Fireball or something. I shouldn't say that, really, huh? Wonder if that's against YouTube's policies. Probably couldn't show it, but I don't know. I'm drinking coffee right now, so French roast, really dark. Anyway, what is the most beneficial thing or things that you are personally taking away from the WordCamp experiences? That's a good question. Joe Rogan drinks and smokes on air every single episode. Nice. Well, that's good to know. So the most beneficial thing or things that I personally take away from WordCamp is probably the community. It's an awesome social experience. You're there with a bunch of other people that are interested in WordPress and sharing ideas. I met somebody who built a website about, what was it? He was doing one on yoga, but he does a lot of fitness stuff, and we got to talking and how I have crossingcolorado.com, and I've lost 80 pounds and have kept it off by gamifying fitness, and he thought that was pretty amazing. And so it was pretty cool to share ideas and learn about other people, and it's pretty fun. It's 1:29 here in the UK. Holy crap. Well, you have a good evening, Skillset. Now we'll see you next time. Enjoy your 17 cents a word. That's pretty cool. So keep it up. But anyway, the WordCamp, let's see, that was the community. Learning more about what you can do with your website is another one. Like the whole podcasting thing that I was interested in. There was a woman that I was talking, I sat in on, and she broke down her experience on how she started off with absolutely nothing and was working from being a co-founder of her husband's business, which she had no interest in doing. And it went from there, and it just kind of morphed into being a community builder for WordCamp. And she said it was like an amazing experience. And listening to her story was kind of motivating. It was like, that's pretty cool. So now I'm thinking I want to start going to more of the WordPress meetups that are here in the local area. And a lot of people from those come to the WordCamps. And so it's community. It's it's like a group, a user group. The last users group I belonged to was a Commodore 64 users group when I was 12 years old with my grandma, so that was fun too. I guess that's kind of like why my grandma kept going to those kind of things. It's not necessarily learning about WordPress and what you can do with the website, but more about the people that go to it. Because I met a lot of people. I met a lot of really cool people. And at WordCamp Denver, there was about, I would say, 350 people going through it, and it was just a bunch of stories and getting to know people, and it was pretty cool. And I wasn't the only sponsor there. There was like several other sponsors, two of them which were competitors, which is another point I wanted to bring up with WordCamp, is that the kickoff party had all the sponsors there, and I was talking to a direct competitor of my client. And instead of trying to one-up each other, it was more like it was a social gathering. There was no stress, and it was pretty cool. We had an awesome conversation, and it was fun. It was pretty cool. But then there's also the stuff that you learn, like the podcasting thing. And let's see, in Kansas City, I sat in on another podcasting one, and there was one by Travis Flance in Kansas City that talked about the basics of SEO content writing online, and that one was pretty interesting, even though it was way below where I am skill level wise. It was still awesome how he presented it, and he did a good job. And I was thinking, if I would have had something like that to go to when I first started writing, it would have been a whole different experience for me in the very, very beginning. But unfortunately, I didn't have stuff like that. I had Google, so. But I guess WordCamps have been around for a long time, and this is really the first time I've ever been into them. So, but I do use WordPress, and every time you log into your admin panel, it shows you when there's events or meetups in your local area. And so I will. I was thinking about joining some of those a long time ago before my client even brought it up. I was thinking it'd be kind of fun to go to some of those. And I wanted to go to one at the beginning of January, but I never got a chance. And so, who is this on my phone? Daughter sending me Snapchats. That's fun. So let's do this. Let's see if I can get all meta with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap my daughter a Snapchat of me looking at the camera, or looking at her through the camera on YouTube. Shit. There we go. Let me try it. Oh, nope. Damn it. Missed it. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time. Bear with me. Okay, so my thumb keeps hitting the button on accident. So here we go again. Problem is that there's about a 30-second delay between me going live and the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and smile again. And then pay attention to the phone here. And then see if I can do it. Here it comes. Snap. Hey. That worked great. So I'm going to send it to my daughter. Sorry about that. Going all meta there. But anyway. Okay. Hi, Shyman. Kind of hard to pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Hi, what do you think about sites like Constant Content, where you can write on any topic you want? I love the idea. I love the idea of Constant Content. You can write pretty much. She's replaying it. You can write pretty much anything you want, and then clients will buy the work if they're interested in it. And the only real downside to that is that you have to write something that the clients will be interested in. So you can't just write anything you want. You would still need to write something that's trending, or something that really engages the client to buy it. And there's a lot of different people out there, so you can probably find a good client with it, and you can make some decent money. Constant Content has one of the higher payouts for pay per word if you're considering different kinds of content mills. But so instead of per word, you're paying for the entire order, or they're paying for the entire order. So you can have all these different licensing agreements. You can make more money on it for giving them exclusive rights to it. So you can make quite a bit, but you still need to make sure that you're writing something that's really resonating within the client. So probably a good way to start would be to take a look at like Google Trends or the news, or something that has a high search volume in Google, and try to write some content surrounding that. And if you structure it well, you'll probably make quite a bit. But I love Constant Content. The idea of it is awesome, and I would love to see more people use it client-wise. But there's been some people on that website that have made some bank, so it's a good one if you can get into it. But you just got to remember, even though you can write about any topic, you still need to appease to a certain audience if you want them to buy it. Like if you were to write about what's something that no one ever searches? I don't know, I can't think of offhand, but if you were to write about StarCraft 1 strategies, that's a game that came out like 20 years ago. you would have a very low search volume on that, so you probably wouldn't be able to sell it very well. So you always got to make sure that you're appeasing to the client and writing about something that is a hot topic right now. Otherwise, it'll just sit there. But it's a real good platform. So about nootropics, I'm not sure. Let me take a look. I don't think I've ever. Well, it's got a decent search volume to it, like 110,000 per month. In fact, Best Nootropics has 9,900 per month. Nootropics Reviews has a decent search volume, so you might be able to do fairly well if you write something good on nootropics. In fact, it looks like you've got quite a spread. Nootropics Buy, Nootropics Work, Nootropics GNC, Brain Enhancing Drugs List. There's a good one. Yeah, it looks like it has a decent search volume to it. So yeah, crack out something on that and see if you can promote it. I bet you might get a few interested parties on that one. But yeah, that's a good one. So, but yeah, with sites like that, they're really easy to get into. They do have their own editing system that's kind of like TextBroker. They'll take a look at it and they will point out things that you need to change, and so you just go through and edit those, and then you submit it again. And from what I found, their editors at Constant Content are fairly close to the editors that are like on TextBroker. So they're pretty strict on certain things, and but you'll learn a lot. Like some of the things that I pointed out, I didn't know, and I Googled it and got it better, and so. But yeah, I would give, if you got the time. The only problem with Constant Content is, aside from creating something somebody wants to read, is that you're not getting paid for it. So if you spend all this time writing this amazing article and you think it's awesome and you dumped all your heart and soul into it, there's still a chance that it could sit there and do nothing. So you wrote that whole thing without making any money for it. But on the other hand, if you do wind up selling it, you'll make like 5 to 10 times more on Constant Content than you will on TextBroker. So it does have a good and bad to it. But it is something that I've used in the past. I haven't personally sold anything on Constant Content yet. I do want to try it out again because it's been a long time since I've wrote anything. And just having an article out there for the hell of it. And so I am going to try it again. But back when I tried it, it wasn't bad. I haven't made anything, but that would be my dog. But yeah, if nootropics is what interests you and you can come out with some awesome content for it, definitely write it. Constant Content's a good one to do. God, I feel like I'm repeating myself. It's already been 40 minutes? Holy shit. Coffee. I'm drinking Caribou French roast, quite dark. About your schedule, how many hours do you sleep in a day? How many hours do I sleep in a day? Well, let's see, the last week I think I was pushing just a little over 5. I have a sleeping disorder, and so I try to get at least 7, but sometimes I'll lay there in bed and toss and turn for like an hour and a half. Last week I didn't get much more over than 5, even though I tried to lay down. I'd lay down at like 9, but I'll stay awake for like 3 hours because my mind is still just going and I can't stop. A lot of that though has to do with stress. Every WordCamp hurts me. Like I won't sleep for the first week before WordCamp happens, and I really don't sleep that well while I'm there. Like I'll have this awesome hotel room with these incredible pillows, but I'll still go to sleep at about midnight, 1 o'clock, just to get up at 6, and it's tiring. But I'm trying hard to get into a normal schedule because the more sleep you get, the better you'll write. I have a couple of articles on writersanctuary.com as to the effects of a lack of sleep and how it impacts your productivity, and I can speak from experience about that. thing is, I've been going without sleep for so long that I'm almost used to it. But there's days where I just want to go to bed. But anywhere between 7 and 9 hours is ideal. And if I get that much sleep in a day, it's rare. But I feel far more productive the next day. So it's something I'm striving to get to, especially now with me being so freaking busy. But like right now at 8:45, if I remember, knock on wood, that I have melatonin to take. So I'm gonna try taking melatonin at 8:45 to try to put me down, so that at 9:30 I can actually sleep, and that's gonna be nice if it works. But yeah, when I got up this morning, you should see my bed. It's like all thrashed. The sheets are torn off it. The cover that's on the mattress is ripped up, and it's just really hard for me to get sleep sometimes. But like I said, I think most of that has to do with stress. I'm so tired. But yeah, if you can, that's one of the things I should practice what I preach, and getting more sleep would make a huge, vast difference in my life. And I just gotta find a way to do it. So, man, there are days when I just wish that I could just close my eyes and zonk out like some other people, but I can't. I can if I'm incredibly exhausted. Like days where I sleep for 4 hours. Oh yeah, I'll hit the pillow and I'm gone. But I don't really get that much sleep all that often. So, but if I could sleep, I would aim for a strong 7 hours at the minimum, because I am so much better after 7 hours of sleep. Far more productive, far more focused. I get way more done. Like I'll get up and I'll do my exercises in the morning. I'll get all pumped up and I'll sit down and I'll do my blog and I'll jump on and work for my client, and then I'll get up and clean some of the house, and I'm just feeling really good. So I need to get back into that, and I'm hoping that since I have a 3-week reprieve from doing WordCamps, that I could probably get back into it again. Yeah, it can get rough. I wouldn't advise doing the 5 hours a night for 20 years of your life. Part of that has to have to do with having kids too. Of course, my kids haven't really impacted my sleep for like the longest time. They're living with their mom and teenagers now, so that's a whole other level of stress. But yeah, you're noisy. I tried petting you. You left. No, I pushed you down. That's right. I got rid of you. God, she's such a pain. Getting pretty close to being nighttime. Now she's going to be bugging me until I go to bed. The worst thing is that I'll try to go to sleep, and then either her or my fat cat Shadow or Cloak or their big sister Max, who's over here getting water, will jump on me and chew on my nose, chew on my fingers, lick my nose, sit on my feet, lay on my chest, do everything they can to get my attention. So, but I can't kick them out of the room because then I feel guilty, like I'm kicking them out. So, and then they'll make me feel bad. Valerian root and magnesium are also supposed to help with sleep. Awesome. I think I've heard that somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where I heard it. Maybe from you. Yeah. Well, right now I've got I think I have a whole bottle of melatonin that I haven't even opened. So, yeah, Sam. Okay. Oh, that's right. You were talking about that before. Pets interfere with sleep. This is a fact. Oh yeah, it's definitely a fact. Like, they're nice. If Max will lay, like if I'm laying in the middle of the bed, and if Max will lay on the side where she's not touching me or anything, she'll lay there and sleep all night, and neither one of us will budge. But before she falls asleep, though, she has to knead my pillow and lay on my arm and sniff my eyeball. It's just a pain in the ass. So I wish I could just give her melatonin and put her down too. But no, cats are nocturnal. So when I'm sleeping, it's time for them to play. Like, no. Squirrels running across my ceiling or roof. Oh. But yeah, there's been a few times where I was debating on kicking them out, but yeah, they make me feel bad, and I feel guilty, and I love my animals. They're like my kids to me, so if I kick them out, then I just feel like crap, and so I can't sleep anyway, so I might as well just open the door. Goofy ass animals. Anyway. So what else did I do this weekend at WordCamp? Went to the 2 talks. Hung out with my client, which was cool. Got some awesome swag. Okay, here we go. Oh, I should have a bunch of stickers and stuff. So here's this is a WAPU for Jetpack. I don't know if it's going to focus in all right. And a WAPU is kind of like a mascot animal for WordPress. And my client has their own WAPU. In fact, that's him right here. That's Specs. And a lot of companies have their own WAPUs, and a lot of the WordCamps themselves have WAPUs. Like the WAPU for Miami was pretty cool. But there's like all kinds of stickers and stuff that I grabbed from WordCamp, like WordFence. Okay, I'm a huge fan of WordFence. It's one of the plugins that you get for WordPress. It's a security plugin, and so like I'm totally in love with WordPress or with WordFence. And so when I saw their logo and saw that they were there, I was like, "Oh, celebrities!" I was all excited and geeking out on them. And another sponsor of WordCamp that I was really hoping to meet up with was the folks of Yoast SEO. I talk about Yoast SEO a lot on the channel. I don't even know. I don't want to know what that was. Anyway, the folks at Yoast, and when I saw someone walking around with their fans with their logo on it, I'm like, "Oh, are they here?" So I went over and no. Yoast went ahead and sent the swag, and so that everybody can get stickers and stuff, and the fans with their logo. And I was like kind of bummed out, but at least I have a Yoast labeled fan and stickers. So kind of a geek about that kind of stuff. I love branding, and so like the WordPress or the WordFence sticker pack here is really cool. It's their WAPU. I picked a lock, so their booth at WordFence's booth is their when they talk to people that come up to their booth, they explain how easy it is for hackers to hack into a site, and the whole shtick is they give you a see-through lock and some picks and show you how to pick the lock. So they went, like this was in Kansas City, they went off to do their interview with somebody, and I think I talked about this in the last live stream, but my goal was to have all of their locks picked and interlocking together. And they didn't just have the see-through locks either. They had like master locks and all kinds of different locks you'd find at the store. And with the right pick, they're not too hard to pick. And I was able to go through most of the more difficult ones. And I didn't get to finish my task of interlocking all the locks because I had to go to a show. But that's their shtick anyway. If you pick the lock, they give you the stickers, and I got a notebook. If I can find it. I got a notebook with the logo on it. I'm a huge fan of branding, like I said. So now this makes 2. I'm going to collect a notebook every time I go to a WordCamp from WordFence, just so that I have a collection. And I'll eventually use them, but right now it's just fun. But yeah, it's got to meet them. There's a couple of new tools I want to write an article about for Writer Sanctuary. One of them is Local. It's a app that you can install WordPress and do a staging ground on. Looks amazing. And instead of, I don't know if you've ever tried to install WordPress on your local computer, it is a convoluted process. And local takes a lot of that convolution out of the way, and it makes it almost an instant install. So I'm pretty excited to give that a try and write an article about it. How old do you think a content writer retires? I don't know. It depends on a lot of factors, really. I'll probably retire writing content for clients after I start making enough money with published works of my own. Like, my goal is to be an author. I want to see my name on a spine of a book on my bookshelf. My mom's been published. My sister's been published. It's my turn. And I've always had a fantasy about having a published novel. So as soon as I get to that point, to where my published works bring in more money than content writing, I'll probably retire from content writing. But for now, it really would depend on whether you can make enough money to retire. Because I don't know, like, you're not in the States, but here in the US, it's really hard to save up enough money to retire decently on. I mean, you get your, like, for a freelance writer, you don't have access to a lot of things like Social Security, and unless you pay into it, I guess you do later on. But for a freelance writer, you have to take care of your own retirement fund, which means you have to do savings accounts or a 401k. I don't know if we can even do 401ks. A lot of my money goes into investments to generate income every month, and so you have to reach a certain amount of money from all of these different aspects to make sure that you're able to sustain yourself for the rest of your life. And so if you're not making a lot of money as a freelance writer, you're not going to be able to retire anytime in the near future. And there's a lot of people out there in their 20s and stuff that can start right now. And if you are much younger, I would highly suggest you start putting some money into like savings accounts or investments of some kind, just so that eventually that you can retire and you don't have to rely on any kind of government help, and that you're able to sustain your bills. And that would be completely up to how everything is structured later on, because rent might be different in about 20 years as it is today. Do you have enough money to pay for food? What about your electricity, your internet, the phone bill? There's like all these different expenses that your retirement has to pay for. And there's a lot of people out there that can do it fairly quick, but they also put a lot of work into doing it. And so I'm nowhere near being able to retire. It'd be fun, but I'm going to keep writing probably until I die. But as for a retiring writer, I have on my team, I have a guy who's still writing for me as a freelance writer, and he's in his 50s. I've seen a couple of 60-year-olds on Textbroker. A lot of people, I've come across some writers on Textbroker that are in their upper area, 60 and 70 years old, writing content just to give them something to do and to offset some of the expenses of their retirement. So, but as for retiring from content writing itself, it's going to depend on a lot of stuff. The best thing I could say is to start saving today and work towards being able to essentially pay yourself for all those. So, like, for instance, a lot of the investments I do here in the States rely or center around real estate and being able to generate monthly dividends. So once those monthly dividends can generate more money than what I make as a freelance writer, I'll retire. But I'm nowhere near that. Could it be that in 10 years content writers will be unclaimed? I don't know. That's an interesting thought. There's a lot that can happen in 10 years. Like 10 years ago, it would have been 2009. I just I started my computer business. It was a year into having my computer business, and I thought that everything was going great and that we'd be set for life. And that backfired. So who knows what's going to happen in 10 years, especially here in the States. We don't even know what's going to happen next year. But there's there's a lot of things that can change. And it just really depends. It's kind of scary if you think about it. Uh-oh, I'm almost out of coffee. Hey, look at that. So, I figured out that I nurse a cup of coffee. It takes me almost a complete hour to drink it. So I've been on for 55 minutes-ish. 54 minutes ago. So maybe that'll be my shtick for future live channels or live broadcasts, is talking to coffee. Instead of coffee, you can drink Chinese tea, Japanese tea, matcha. Oh. Are those caffeinated or decaf? I should be drinking decaf since I have a problem sleeping anyway. But I'm very anti-decaf coffee. It's like, I don't know. Coffee to me, decaf coffee to me is like having sex without the climax. It's, what's the point? So, oh, but it is so hot in my office. I do like teas though. I'm a big fan of Earl Grey. I like black tea, green tea. I haven't tried the Chinese or the Japanese ones too. I'm gonna have to write that one down, because I'm always interested in trying new drinks. So let me write that down. Now, I've heard of matcha before, but I've never had it. P-U-E-R-H. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to pronounce that. So I'll just look at it in Amazon. So I will give those a look at. Yeah, I have a collection of... shit, one time I had a bunch of different teas. I've got a house full of coffee. I'm a big coffee freak. It's too much blood in my caffeine system. So yeah, it's but yeah, I'll give those a look-see. What kind of tea is it? Is it closer to a black tea, or is it kind of sweet, or is it spicy? I love Bengal spice tea. It's kind of like a cinnamon tea from Celestial Seasonings. Oh, pure. Close enough. Pure. Speaking of sleep and teas, Celestial Seasonings has one that's called it's a sleepy time tea, and it's made with chamomile. And I had 2 bags of those in one of my coffee mugs here. This is a 10-ounce mug, so I put 2 bags of that in there, and it knocked me the fuck out for like 12 hours. Oh wow, that stuff works. And I don't think I have any up in my cupboard, otherwise I'd take it right now. But I keep forgetting that this tea is amazing, and I like the taste of it. And it has a bunch of herbs in it that will put you to sleep. And I did some research on it. There's an article on crossingcolorado.com where I broke down all the components and ingredients in this tea and showed the scientific evidence as to how it does help you sleep. And so I'm gonna have to start drinking more of that. I keep completely forgetting about it, but you brought it up, and thank you, Shaman. Otherwise I would have forgot again. But if I don't have any sleepy time, it's the sleepy time with echinacea. Sleepy time with echinacea. That's the one that drops me like a rock. It's amazing. So I'm gonna start drinking more of that again, because I used to drink it a lot when I lived in LA. And yeah, the one time I put 2 bags in it, it was like overdosing on NyQuil. It was good night. See you sometime tomorrow. I did. I slept for like 12 hours. But I will definitely take a look at the Chinese and Japanese teas that you mentioned, because I like collecting teas and coffees. And one thing I don't like is, I'm not a big fan of like cold teas, like you get at, what are they called, the Nestle teas. I don't like those. I do like the green tea from Sobe. I do like cold green tea, but not very many other ones. I'm a hot tea drinker. Even in summer, it could be 150 degrees outside, I will still drink a hot cup of coffee. But yeah, I like tea, so I'll give that a shot. Anything to help me sleep. Well, it is 7:02. I've been streaming for 59 minutes. I think it's about time to wrap it up. I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of my night. Probably go find some tea. But I don't know if should I keep going, because I'm feeling pretty good, so I wouldn't mind still talking about writing and stuff. So I don't know, should I go, or should I go ahead and hang out? You're a good man, Brutally Ravage. Thank you very much, Brutally. I am a good man. Depends on the day. No, I am. That's one thing I have a problem with is thanks for helping people during hard times. Always. I always try to do my best to help anybody. That's why I built this channel. It's why I built Writer Sanctuary, Crossing Colorado, and Colorado Plays. All three of my blogs and this channel are focused on helping people. It's nice that I get some money from AdSense from the blogs, but that's not what drives me. It's things like that, just like the whole thank you for helping with Text Broker, or thank you for showing me this, or you inspire me to do better. It's that kind of stuff that makes it worthwhile for me. Used to be a bigger streamer. People are noticing. Yeah. It's but like I said, it's not the fortune and glory that I'm looking for. I'm a helpful person. You're doing a good job, man. Well, thank you very much, Brutally. I try my hardest. There's days where I will think to myself, is it really worth creating a video if only 30 people are going to watch it? But then I remember there's at least 4 or 5 people that watch almost every video, and it seems I help them out a lot, and it's that's my motivation. I don't want to create a video, but I want to help somebody. Fortune and glory ain't really that important. Not really. Sorry for the typos. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm a professional writer and I have typos all the time. You should have seen me yesterday when I was talking with my client. It was like a 3-year-old on crack. It was couldn't hardly read it. But yeah, that's what drives me. It's helping people. That's me. Professional writers like that. Yeah, exactly. That's my comment to my client all the time. And I'm a professional writer and I still can't spell good. So it just depends. I'm in machine learning now. You helped me when times were tough. Thank you. Oh, well, you're welcome. That's nice to know. I do what I can. I'm not sure. Sometimes I think that... Seriously? Sometimes I think that I sound more like a rug on Valium. I don't really have the highest energy level, and so there's times where I'm like, I don't know, Eeyore if he was depressed. And it just, I wish I had more of an energy level. I think if I started doing videos in the morning, it'd probably make a difference, but I don't know, there's days where I'm just so tired. I just I try to keep the energy up. So you're intelligent enough to help people. That's what's important. Well, thank you. Now you're going to make me blush. Yeah, I do what I can. I'm the type of person where if I see somebody that's having a hard time in social media especially, and here's a good story. This was back when I was playing League of Legends with my teenage boys, and my oldest, Kyle, he would, maybe I should have mentioned his name, but he would, there was one time we were playing, and this other player was horrible. We were getting our asses kicked because this one guy couldn't play, and instead of trying to help this poor kid, my son was just ripping on him, and I could tell by from the chat when we were playing that this poor kid was really upset. He wasn't getting mad. You could sense that he was getting bummed out about it. So after everybody left the game, I sat there and I chatted with him for a little bit, and I made him feel better about himself. I was telling him, we all start from somewhere. We all suck at some point. And I apologized for my son, and that told him that not everybody is an asshole. And all the time that I was talking with this kid, my son came over and sat down behind me and watched me over my shoulder. And he was seeing how I was interacting with this poor kid. And it made him feel bad because he knew that he made this kid feel like crap for no reason. It was a game. We weren't in a competition. It was like, were we going to win a gold medal? No, it was a game. And so he started feeling like crap, and then I got him to realize that what he was doing by griefing this poor kid was not helping at all. And so I felt like I helped two people with one shot. So that's the type of person I am. When you get over 100 something viewers per video, you start getting somewhat paranoid. It's fairly normal. Yeah. No, I'm always paranoid. I can't say I'm always paranoid, but there was one time when one of my videos skyrocketed up like from nowhere. I was getting like hundreds of views. I'm like, what the hell? And I looked back, and somehow that video got put into Reddit because I looked up where all the views were coming from, and it was like 100, 200, 300. I'm like, what the hell? Nobody was watching it. The average time on this video was 5 seconds. So it was an autoplay somewhere in Reddit that kept procking my video to play, which was kind of hurting my YouTube ranking on it because now the average time on it was 5 seconds. And so I'm like, well, so it really freaked me out there. I'm like, where the hell is this video at, and who the hell's not watching it? But it happened. I'm not saying you're a bad guy. It's obvious you're a good man. Well, thank you. Yeah, I try my best. I'm not religious in like the go to church type of person, but I do believe that you should just treat people decently. You know, I don't know, that whole story with my son and the game player. It was I'm glad that I was able to impact my son as much as I was to help that kid. And so, as far as I know, my son hasn't like totally ripped into somebody on a game yet. So, knock on wood. But that was years ago. He's doing, I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but I agree entirely. Morality is the most important. Exactly. Oh, don't give up. Never. In fact, I try to teach all my kids one saying that I ripped off of a movie, and my favorite movie, one of them anyway, is never give up, never surrender. And it's words I live by, or try to live by anyway. Sounds like you're a good dad. I try. I can't say that I'm dad of the year, but I do my best to teach my kids to be decent people. Then you get famous, remember me? Always. I remember everybody. Like, I still chat with all the people that started chatting with me when I had like 1 subscriber. Like Chris Desitoff, which I wish he would make a video, and I doubt he's watching now. But he's a good guy too, and I wish he would do some more videos. He has a few hard times, and I'm kind of worried about him. So I'm hoping that he'll at least put up something. So that's how it's done. Yes, exactly. Oh, it is. My mouth is dry. That's what happens when you run out of coffee. He is an amazing dad. You guys are going to make me blush. Stop. That's one thing I have a problem with, is I'm not very good at accepting compliments. Never have been. It's taking humble to the nth degree. I have a problem with imposter syndrome where I don't think I'm as good as I think I am, even though there's plenty of evidence to the contrary. My client made me the content marketing team lead. I am as good as everybody says I am. I don't believe it. It's really, really hard to get out of that mindset, especially if you've lived that way for 20 plus years. I'm doing better. Instead of my default answer is I try when somebody gives me a compliment, I'm trying to get into the whole thank you. I just wish that I could really, really believe it myself. There's days where I feel like Captain Kick-Ass, but it gets hard sometimes. The struggle is what I admire most. It ain't about blushing, man. I'm telling you, keep going. If you give up, I'm going to be pissed. Oh, I'm never going to give up. We have incredible potential. Most intelligent men feel that way. Well, it's nice to know that I'm not alone, but I'm never going to give up. Even if, like right now, There's days where my channel is like getting hardly any views, and like, but if I gave up, then who's going to help you? That's how I figure it. It's like, I have something to offer and I would like to help, so I keep going. Do I read a lot of books on different topics like health, medicine, psychology, parenting, so on? I read a lot, but most of what I read are tutorials, manuals, and blog posts for my client. I used to be really heavy into fantasy and science fiction, and I write some of that on Wattpad, and I still have to get back into finishing my story on Wattpad. My mom wrote a horror novel, and I started reading it. I do have a book on a midlife crisis that I have yet to open, but I should read it. I crashed hard a few years ago. I should have read it then, but I'm also the type of person that has to face my problems on my own. My dad always told me how he's proud of me for not turning to drugs and alcohol after the life I've lived, and that's because I have to face shit as it comes. And so I crashed, and I didn't accept any help yet, and no medications or anything. A part of that, I think, has to deal with my whole need to do it myself. I don't know, I can accept help once in a while, but some things I just have to do. And so, don't give up. I really appreciate the help you have given us with your tutorials. Oh, thank you, Ron. Yeah, I have no intention of giving up. There's going to be weeks when there's going to be like 1 or 2 videos, and that's not me giving up. That is merely for lack of time. Sometimes it takes... Okay, so like last Thursday's video took me 3.5 hours to upload. This was on top of working for my client. So by the time I got done with everything, it was already 8 o'clock. It was a late video. And so there's times where I'm probably not going to produce as much content, but it has nothing to do with giving up. It's more of, I just don't have the time, especially lately. Sometimes you have to talk to people going through similar struggles. I agree. I know. I should have joined a couple of users groups. I was going to join some online because I'm better with the internet than I am in person. But these WordCamps and YouTube has helped out a lot. Like now I find myself striking up conversation with people in the elevator, and it was something that I used to do a lot back in the day, but then I kind of became a hermit. And so the WordCamps have been helping me get back into being more social. And so it's that whole, it's hard to explain. For the longest time, I just had a problem with people, and but doing all of this has made a huge difference in my life. And yeah, it's real. People who help people deserve more credit. Yeah, it's not how the world works, though. Instead, it's the people who get the credit are politicians and celebrities. But hey, like I wish that they had trading cards for scientists, because I would own Neil deGrasse Tyson's rookie card. I'm big into science, and I love astrophysics, and I love following Neil deGrasse Tyson, and can't remember his first name, Machu. He's a Japanese guy. Really awesome stuff. But I do read a lot of science stuff in that regard. Like I love learning a lot of a little bit of everything, really. Like when 300 came out, the movie, I wanted to see if it was historically accurate, so I did a bunch of research into the Battle of Thermopylae and the pass at Sparta. And so it was really cool. And I love ancient Egyptian mythology, and I excelled at ancient art history in college, and I love it. I love history. I love reading about anything that's older than 2,000 years. Like, I love documentaries. Yeah, it's so I guess I do read quite a bit, because then I'll figure, oh, well, I want to know this, and so it's one of the reasons why I love TextBroker so much. Is that when I was writing for TextBroker, and there's like this big long list of different topics that you can cover, so I love to learn. And when I got a new topic, that's something I've never covered before, I did the research for it. I learned it. I learned a lot of things, everything from animals to travel. And that was one of the highlights to doing TextBroker, is all the research, because I love research. I love data. Of course, you read, you've got it together, man. Well, I tried. There's a lot of times I wish that, see, I said it again, I try. That's what I was talking about earlier, is that it's really hard to accept compliments sometimes. And it's something I'm trying to get out of doing. And like my client, they praise me up and down, and so she finally broke me of saying I try, and now I say thank you, and she's all very good. So, helping to people is your most admirable trait. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wish more people would help each other instead of, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not like some up with people type of guy. I don't just, well, I guess I do. I guess I am. Like Colorado Plays, I built that website specifically for helping the charity Extra Life and 8-Bit Salute and Geeks of Grandeur. I've donated a bunch of money to all three of them. But everything Colorado Plays makes, 30% of it every month from AdSense, or any revenue that website makes, goes directly to Extra Life to help Children's Miracle Network. And that affects the Children's Hospital here in Denver. And then Geeks of Grandeur builds gaming units for the children's hospitals for medical grade stands that they roll around. And so the kids can play video games and stuff. It's a really awesome charity. So I went to their Halloween party last year, and Sam and I bid on coffee. And when it comes to coffee, no one's going to beat me at a silent auction. And I won coffee. But it was a really good cause. So something I would probably never buy myself, but it was pretty awesome because I helped them out and I got some amazing coffee out of it. Like Pablo in Denver is just simply awesome. I should have drank that tonight, but I didn't. But yeah, that's who I am, really. I just wish I wasn't scatterbrained. It's really hard because, like, I want to focus on certain things, and it's really hard because I'm the type of person that can't just focus on one project. I want to be, well, okay, here's case in point. I have a story on Wattpad that I started back in 2016. I haven't finished. I got one chapter left. I finished the second to last chapter in January. But there's a strong drive to start other projects. I can't just stay focused on one thing at a time. And so I bounce around a lot. Unfortunately, that means that a lot of things never get done. And I just wish I wasn't so scattered when it comes to stuff like that. Have you ever thought about starting a business similar to TextBroker? There's been a few times where I was thinking, if I could set it up, there's a lot of things that I would change in TextBroker to make it better. But I really haven't put much effort into it. Like I've drawn up a few ideas of how I would change the editing system in TextBroker, mostly, and make it to where we could upload images to clients. And I can understand why TextBroker doesn't allow that, because there is a fine line with plagiarism, and there's going to be people out there who are going to try to sell pictures to clients and claim that they're royalty free. But so I can see why they don't really get into the graphic part of it. But then after working on Fiverr, you can also come across other ideas to affect that as well. So I could probably come up with a good plan for it. Will you get off my microphone? Find a hobby. Yeah, you're annoying. I'm trying to talk to Ron. You're not helping. No, he doesn't want to talk to you either. God, She is such an annoying cat. Every time at about this time of day. Every day at about this time. Unless you're trying to chew on my... Ow! Chew on my finger. She's a nibbler. But anyway, as for starting my own business, there's a few things I've been wanting to do. Trying to figure out how I could create a business out of Writer Sanctuary. But starting something like Textbooker, that'd be kind of fun. Especially if I could figure out how to do it to where I could hire writers from like South America or other places that Textbooker doesn't offer. So she has a hobby. It's pestering you, right? So this is my hobby. For fuck's sakes. The problem is that my microphone is kind of iffy, and I'm afraid she's gonna short it out. Go find your sister. I guess that'll give me an excuse to buy a new microphone. I got your tail. Anyway, okay, I want to drink my water. Okay, hey, stop. So normally, like, if she's on my lap pestering me, I like to vape. In fact, vaping has helped me quit smoking cigarettes altogether. I still smoke cigars, but I haven't had a cigarette in fucking forever. And normally I vape, and she doesn't like vapor. So if I vape, she would take off. No. Blue Snowball, the durable as hell, man. Yeah, it's not the Snowball that's has a short. It's the cable. There's something wrong in the USB cable that, like if I swing my arm out too far and the cable adjusts, it will short out my computer to the point where I get a blue screen of death and it restarts. Cigars don't count. You don't inhale them. I do. Not all of them, but it also depends on the cigar too. Like, oh man, my friend had a cigar. He brought it over to my dad's house, and he lit it up. And this was back when I was smoking about a pack and a half a day. And he lit this cigar, and it smelled like burning dog piss. I kicked him out of the house. Like, you have to smoke that shit outside, dude. That was bad. And it was a $10 cigar. So all I can think is, who the hell would pay $10 for that when it would make your house smell so bad? I mean, it was bad. From a smoker's perspective, oh. Favorite flavor of cigar? That's a hard one. I do have a thing for Blackstone Cherry, and I like Prime Times and I like their grape. But every time I go to a store, if I'm in the mood for a cigar, it's Black and Mild is what I go for. The original Black and Mild. I do like Casinos, but the original Black and Mild, it brings back memories of being in college. I used to hang out with my buddy in the parking lot in between classes, and we'd smoke a Black and Mild and talk about art. So there's a lot. It's not just the flavor, but the sensation it brings back from almost 20 years ago. Cherry is good, grape is best. I did have a primetime grape Saturday while I was after the WordCamp. It was when I was at the hotel, and I bought a couple of single grapes, and I forgot how good they were tasted. I like primetime grape. But this is my favorite. It's well, the vapor that's in it's not my favorite, but I like to vape more than anything. For one thing, I smell like a fruit salad instead of a ashtray. This one in here is it's called Christmas Hooker. I get it from Vape Wild, and it's essentially candy cane, but yeah, it's you knock down the nicotine level, and before you know it, now you're just vaping for the sake of vaping. There's no nicotine in it at all. No, mine does, but I got down really low at one point. No joke. Wine and cigars, nothing better. Yeah, Blackstone wine. Oh, that's another good one. That's yeah. It's the... Oh yeah, that is the wine, isn't it? Blackstone wines. Oh no, it's Black and Mild. Black and Mild has the wine that I like. I use candy cane too. Right on. Yeah, it's I like it. I also have, but my all-time favorite has got to be what is it? Tiger Blood. I love Tiger's Blood. Tiger's Blood and Smurf Cake because of blueberry. I'm a big fan of blueberry. But yeah, it's the Black and Mild wine and casinos are my favorite. Or the flavored, the regular Black and Mild. Shit, I don't know. Maybe I don't have a favorite. I just like them all. Oh. But yeah. So I didn't vape it very much. I feel weird about vaping on camera, so I don't even vape when I'm playing Twitch. So I want you to do well, man. Hope you become famous. You have the potential. Well, thank you. It's I don't know about famous, but as long as I'm still helping people, I'll keep doing this. So for every thank you, it's more than enough reason for me to record another video if I have time. But I want to try. I'm getting to the point where I can manage my time better, so I can create more content, more videos. But I want my videos not to suck. So what I do is sometimes if I plan out a video and I look like it's going to be kind of weak and it's not very informative, then I'll trash it, and then I won't have a video that day. I want people to get something of value from it. When I create a video, is anybody going to learn from this, or is it just going to sit there? And so yeah, that's how I gauge it. I'll try to figure out if it's something that somebody wants to watch, if it's something that's helpful, is it something that someone's going to learn from? Because there's been a couple ideas that I had that were kind of weak, so I'll keep doing that. And so that's why I don't do a regular Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday show. It's because A, I'm busy, B, I want to make sure everything is good, and 3, I just want to make sure that I'm helping. You've got a shot, go with it. We are getting value. If your intention is to help, then you will not fail. Okay? That's the way we go. Now, when I start doing videos for the gaming channel, that's would be a little bit more let loose. Like Writer Sanctuary is more of my professional outlet. It's how I approach being professional. The gaming channel and the fitness channel, not so much. I kind of have a little bit too much fun when I do those. So I don't think that anybody's going to learn much from them, but would like to get drunk and play some drunken Diablo. That would be fun. Do I want help? I believe in you, dude. You are too awesome, Brutally. You're swelling my ego. I really don't believe that I deserve all this praise. There's a lot of good people out there, and I appreciate it. But again, like I was saying before, that it's really hard for me to accept a lot of compliments because, well, a lot of times I really don't think I'm all that well. My frame of mind is that I'm not anything special. I'm just me. Do videos on how to do research, best sites, engines, etc. Just an idea that came to me. Oh, yeah, and that's actually one that I was working on, is doing the best places to get research. Like, I want to do a video where I break down exactly, like I kind of showed it before, of my process of writing content, but I want to go through and do a more detailed video on, we'll start with A, here's B, here's C, here's D, and here's the finished product. Like, I would love to walk you through everything I do and give you alternatives to different things. Like I did one on using keywords everywhere and Answer the Public, and those are two of my favorite research places. I like Google Trends, but there's all kinds of stuff I can do, and that's a really good idea, Ron. And that's definitely one that I've been kind of working out the details for. In fact, I have a separate WordPress subdomain where I write all my ideas, and I write down all the things I want to do and all the different video ideas, and that's one of them in there, is doing more research. So that is definitely an idea, and I'm planning on running with it here in the near future, especially if I can hammer out a better set schedule, especially with my client. And maybe the week leading up to WordCamps is when I'm the most busy, so I could probably do it next week, maybe the week after, but we'll see, because I've got a lot of different ideas that I wanted to do. Because I see things, I'm an ex-streamer and YouTuber. Oh, okay, about being potential. What did you mean by did I want help? Like on making videos, or do you want to do a collab? That's one thing I haven't tried doing yet, is a collaboration. I would love to do one with Chris, because Chris and I kept sending emails back and forth. We chat a lot, and I'm really worried about him, and so I think I'm going to hit him up with an email today, just because, you know, I want to make sure he's all right. In terms of promoting you, oh hey, yeah, if you want to promote me, go ahead. See, and then immediately, this is what I'm talking about. First thought that goes through my mind: I'm not worth promoting. I know. It's there's times where I wish I wasn't so. You can't even call it modest. You know, do I know Chris personally? Kinda. He's done a couple of articles for Writer Sanctuary. He used to read my blog a lot. We've talked back and forth in email. He has my personal email address, and nobody has my personal email address. So for me to give it to somebody, that's pretty special. But he's been MIA for a little more than a month, and he has a problem. He was working on trying to lose weight and getting motivated to write, and I haven't heard from him for a while, so it's kind of worried about him. But I'll shoot him an email later just to make sure he's breathing, because he hasn't been uploading like he said he was going to. We all feel that way. It's horrible. Fact of the matter is, most intelligent men are very down on themselves. Yeah, most creative people are. Oh, but it's just something I wish I could get past. You know, I know I could probably get help for it or take some pills or something, but again, I'm the type of person that has to face my problems sober and defeat it myself. I have to be the one to slay my demons. I've got a lot of them. But it's, I don't know, I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be, but it does affect you. And feel unworthy? Yeah. Yep, I made that video of a while ago, last year. I did a video on the problems of imposter syndrome, where now what imposter syndrome is that you don't feel that you're good enough, and that you always fear that those who are praising you are going to find out that you're a fraud. And I am an exceptionally professional writer. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. I've got thousands of completed articles on TextBroker, more than 5,500 with only 3 rejections, 2 of which weren't even my fault. So that right there should be enough to convince me that I'm good. It doesn't. Then I've done thousands of articles for various clients in the past 3 years, and all of them will tell me how it's an amazing work. It doesn't matter. I can't see myself being that good. Even when my current client moves me from being a writer to their content marketing team lead. So they know that I have the skills. They know I know what I'm doing. They move me to a higher position and give me more money. I don't feel I deserve it. There's times where I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing? But then there are days like today, like this morning, when the professional mindset in me will kick in, and then I will say, I'm boss. This is my job, and you will do what I say. And it just, I don't know, it's like a transition almost. It's like as soon as the pressure's on, my mind just flips on. And then I start thinking, I am as good as I think I am. It just, I don't know, sometimes I just wish I felt like that all the time. Exactly. Pills don't matter. It's all about you and your mentality. And you feel the moment. You feel the moment you let loose. You feel that people won't believe you. Exactly. Neo Soul Rider. With those stats, you're better than good. You're great, and the work shows. Yeah, exactly, Neo. I know that there's like all this evidence to the contrary that I am good at what I do. I am very good at what I do. People throw me money because I'm good at what I do. But there's that little voice in the back of your head that says, no, you're not. These people are just telling you what you want to hear, or these people are just desperate because they need somebody to write their content. And I know that's not right. I know it is. But it's still back there. It's still this little echo in the back of your head that says, you're not that good. And there's times where I'd like to grab that little echo in the back of my head by the throat and pummel it to death. But I can't. So the only thing I can do is try to convince myself every day that I am awesome. And there's days where I can wake up and I'll look at my desk and think to myself, I fucking rock. And so I'll get like all kinds of energized, but then there are days where it gets pretty bad. It's part of being bipolar 1. You have your upswings and your downswings, and sometimes the downswings are pretty fucking low. But you gotta figure out a way to get around that, because once you start getting too low, then you just start sinking. Again, sorry for typos, man. I know how you feel. Don't worry about the typos. Do you think that little voice gives you the fuel to motivate you to write? Sometimes. Sometimes I want to prove to myself that I can do the job. But then there's times where that little voice will kind of run the day and win. And it'll get me to the point where I feel so depressed that I can barely function. And then I have to lay down and I'll just start wallowing. And then I have to find a way to snap myself out of it, because sometimes I just don't feel I'm that good. Especially on really bad days when everything in the world will backfire and everything just goes straight to crap, and you start getting this negative mindset. And it's really hard to pull yourself out of that when you're in a downswing. And there's times where I can do it. It's just not every time. Some people aren't motivated by anything and they just live to survive. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things that upset me most about my oldest stepson. Well, my ex-stepson. I still call him my son because, well, he's my boy. He always had this problem with staying motivated. I mean, I knew he was better than he was, but he would just be this lazy slug that wouldn't really put in the effort. And but he used to drive me nuts because I could see his potential and he would never live up to it. He does now. He's doing great. He's in college. He's in Texas. He's doing awesome, and I'm proud of him. But when he was younger, though, it just used to piss me off. But he didn't seem to be motivated by anything. Like, if he wanted to play the PlayStation, he would have to read for at least an hour. His answer to that was, I just don't want to play. My answer to that was, now you gotta read. So, I wish he was more motivated. I wished he was. Now he is. But back then, it was pissed me off. But anyway, I completely agree with that, though. It's part of that is because I used to skate on doing the very bare minimum to survive. Like when I first started a tax broker, I would only write to a certain point, and then when I could pay the bills, I'd be done. And it was a really bad way to live, or a really bad way to start, because then I never had money to do all the fun stuff. But just doing enough to survive is just, I don't know, it just doesn't really do it for you, It's better that he found the motivation instead of never finding it. Exactly. That's why I'm so proud of him, is because he did move from being a slug to capitalizing on it. He got a free ride to a college, and he's doing great now, so I'm proud of him. But not everybody is motivated to go that far. Some people just are happy mooching off of others, and just, I don't know. I have motivation. I'm just scatterbrained. People are proud of you, man. Yeah, I know. I do a lot, especially my family. Like, for the longest time when I was growing up, everybody thought I was this gang-banging drug dealer. I don't even know where half that comes from, because I never did drugs and I never joined a gang. It's whatever. Rumors. But they had such a negative... One side of my family had such a negative outlook of me. Kind of, I was a black sheep. But I don't know where I was going with that. I'm out of coffee. That's what happened. Oh, hold on a second. And... Oops. There goes my mouse. But yeah, it's really hard sometimes. Like I said, I'm doing a lot better than I used to. So I'm not, I did crash a couple years ago. I went through a midlife crisis, and I crashed epically. And at that point, it was really hard for me to see anything positive. That's when I started started realizing that my age wasn't really as bad of an influence as I thought it was, because I got Ryan Reynolds. I'm a month older. He gets to play Deadpool. What am I doing? Sitting at home, watching Netflix. So there's some things like that that motivate me. And it's like I said earlier, that I love watching Achievement Hunter, not just because that they're playing video games, but because of the guys that are playing. I have a lot of respect for Ryan Haywood, and I watch him on Twitch too. And I'm a little bit older than Ryan, but it's stuff like that. It shows me that I can still do so much more. I don't need to just curl up on the couch and be done. Learn from it. You're doing a good job. You're helping people 20 to 50. Seriously? Yeah, I know. That's why I do what I do. Is I know there's people out there that I help a lot, and like every time I do a video and someone says thank you, it's a ego boost. It makes me feel good that I'm able to share what I've learned, because I've learned a lot of stuff over 7.5 years of being a freelance writer, and there's a lot of things that I know now that I wish I would have known back then. And so that's why I'm trying to do what I do, is to help somebody get past all those hurdles and not make the same mistakes I did, and to try to find their path to where they can be successful, even though essentially I'm creating competition for myself. But that's neither here nor there. Let's make him win. Everybody, you guys are my cheering squad. It's awesome. See, it's stuff like you two, Neo and Brutally. Your comments are just... That's why I do what I do. I don't need to be monetized. I don't need to go to YouTube's VidCon or any of that. It's knowing that I've made such a positive impact on someone's life that's why I'll keep making videos. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It would be kind of cool to monetize, but hey, I'm no cheater. I'm a cheerleader. I'm rational. Yes, you are. Aren't we all? Well, I can't say all, because there's a lot of people I know that are completely irrational. Like, one of my favorite stories I tell all the time is how my friend, when he first started on Text Broker, he got rated a level, or a 3-star, and he wrote an article about our computer business, and he thought it was the most amazing piece of work he'd ever written, and that it was awesome and sparkling. And Textbooker sent it back as a 3-star. And he just went ballistic. I mean, he was pissed. He was on the verge of throwing shit. I mean, he was just mad to the nth degree. And I'm like, dude, you're not a professional writer. But he just freaked out. So that is an irrational mind. It bothers me that you only have 6 viewers. You deserve more. Well, it happens. It happens on Twitch a lot too. There's just bigger people to watch. I'm not really all that energetic. I mean, it's got people like PewDiePie who just please a bunch of little kids, and that's good and all. I mean, that's fine. As long as somebody's getting something out of your content, that's all that matters. I focus purely more on, well, most of my stuff is Textbooker, and that's not a real hot topic on YouTube. Now, I have been getting traffic from Google search, so that's kind of cool. But that's kind of why I wanted to kind of branch out a little bit more past Textbooker. Now, I love Textbooker, and I'll keep making videos on it, but there's so much other things I want to do for freelance writing. Like, I would love to do an article on writer access and Fiverr, or not article, but video. Constant content is another one. I would love to do more WordPress stuff and how to blog, and just a lot more meat behind the freelance writing part, and see if I can kind of branch out. But that is Logan. Brand new $200 chair. She just put 20 claws into it. Thanks. Anyway, as an ex-YouTuber, I see a ton of absolute garbage right to the top. I know. There's times where I'm like, the hell? Like, there was one comment on a video where he typed in Textbooker sucks just to see what would come up, and my videos came up. So he thought it was funny. I still think it's funny. It makes me laugh every time I think about it. Do giveaways, you get more viewers. I like doing giveaways. I used to do a lot of giveaways on my Twitch channel, but the problem is that there's times where I want people to watch me because they want to watch me, not because they want to get something out of it. And sometimes that's what affects it. It doesn't matter how much your giveaways are worth. It matters that you're willing to be generous to the first place. Yeah. At times I had 100 plus viewers per stream. I'm telling you, you've got potential, man. Well, when I did the giveaways on Twitch, there was one point I had like, what was it, like almost 200 viewers, and I was giving away free codes to the beta of World of Warships. Now at that time it was a hot topic, so I got in touch with World Warships and or wargaming.net, and they gave me a ton of codes to hand out, and so I used to do all kinds of giveaways on Twitch. That was pretty fun. And it was yeah, well, it was cool. I would drive traffic, but the problem with that is that afterwards, when you don't have anything to give away, the viewership drops dramatically. So it's not that people wanted to watch you or watch me, is that they wanted something free out of it. And I did gain a few subscribers, and they kept coming back, and so my average viewership went up a little bit, but not as much as I would have thought. And it was a lesson learned. Giveaways are kind of cool to start getting some of that ball rolling, but they're not always as effective as you'd think they would be. You should be happy. I'm drinking water. God, the whole weekend at WordCamp, all I drank was coffee, no water. Didn't have lunch on Saturday. It was way late into the night by the time I had dinner. I was I'm hypoglycemic, so going without lunch was bad, and so it's affected me all the way up until this morning. At the end of the day, many people are material. It sounds messed up, but you kind of have to ignore it in the business world. Yep, exactly. There's too many people out there just looking for the free thing, and you know, that's fine and all. I mean, everybody loves free. I've entered in a few free contests myself and didn't bother being a fan of the brand, but it does, I guess it kind of helps, because My average viewership went from about 6 or 7 views per video on Twitch to closer to 15 to 20. So it did help out quite a bit. It doubled. So it makes me really mad too. Yeah. I bet. But that whole, right now I'm just too poor to give anything away. I can give away my smile or my time. I give away my time all the time. But I would love to do more stuff with it. It's just, I don't know, without having a sponsor or having the money to back it up, you're kind of limited as to what you can do. As rich as you are, you still feel poor. I'm not even close to being rich. I do make quite a bit of money. I'm able to pay my bills and I have some money left over. But I'm a far cry from being rich. Still feels horrible. Yeah. Even when, well, I don't know, I can't really say that. Like right now, if I was to dump all the blogs that I do and stop doing the YouTube videos and just focus purely on freelance writing again, I would easily make 6 figures a year. That's a lot. But that's not what drives me. Sure, I can make that money, but that's not what makes me happy. What makes me happy? Maintaining my blogs, helping people out. I just wish there was more money in it sometimes. But yeah. If I was to dump everything, I could be far, far better off financially, but it wouldn't give me what I need. And so, but as for free giveaways, that's something I might consider in the future. Just I'm not sure if I'm really set on it yet. Pick the future you want. Yeah, exactly. Like Doc Brown said, the future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one. You got this, man. Oh yeah. Like today I'm feeling like, I know I sounded kind of depressed earlier, and I get a little melancholy when I start talking about some of my problems. But in the long run, I'm doing pretty good. I'm home in Colorado with my girls. I've got a home. I've got all my bills paid. That's not the most expensive gaming system in the world, but I built it. So it's really doing good. I just got to remember that every day. And sometimes it gets hard. It really does. But like today, I came out of the gate ready to go, and then everything with my client exploded, and I had to spend the last 8 hours dealing with that mess, but I fixed it. But there's days where, yeah, pick what you want, be the man you want to be. God, I have got to get new glasses. It's getting so hard to read your letters. I have to make the size of the damn screen bigger. Uh-oh. That was a work chime. What do they want now? What fresh hell is this? Oh, okay. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm off the clock. I'm going to look at it when I'm done with my video. So just in case you're wondering, that's the kind of professional I am. Is that I'll bitch about it. I'll say, nope, I'm not doing it. But then I'm like, yeah, I will. Because that's how I am. A little bit much of a perfectionist sometimes. But I just want to make sure shit's done right. I'm a strong believer in doing something right the first time, rather than having to go back and spend the time to fix it. And so if I can get my writers to do something right now, I would rather spend the time to do that. Not because of I'm going to be angry with them or anything like that, but more of I'm trying to teach them how to write like I do, and I want them to do it right. And if they do it right the first time and don't have to fix it, and I give them praise that they're learning from it, they're going to keep doing it. So That's why I try to keep in touch with my writers all the time, is get them inspired to do better. Like I had one this morning that really butchered 146 articles. He had to go back and fix it all. And I had to let him know that don't let this get you down, because we've increased the traffic to this particular client by thousands of visitors per month. He was part of that team, so don't let this one instance bring it down, because you're part of the team that increased that much. So I respect you. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I don't know if you have any videos on your channel, but I'll have to check it out. I'm always checking out new people's channels, so. Oh, I keep reaching for my coffee cup and it's empty. But that's the type of person I am. I don't want this writer he's learning, but he's not the best. But I don't want him to have a completely bad negative experience about freelance writing when it was just a simple mistake. So I just want him to know that shit happens. Fix it, move on. Nothing is a failure if you learn from the experience. I have 500 plus videos. Shocked that you haven't realized it. Between the two channels, that is. Yeah, when it comes to watching videos, I bounce around a little bit, but because I've been really into watching Achievement Hunter lately, trying to get through the whole Minecraft series, I haven't really explored much of the different channels, so I'll definitely take a look. Probably tonight, as soon as I get done with video. It ain't about my ego, man. It's about me believing in you. Oh no, I have no. I don't think it's your ego at all, man. I believe you. I just wish I believed you. Or I wish I believed in me as much as you do. That's what I meant. When you see potential, you see potential, and that's it. Thank you. And I'm not going to say I try. I'm going to say thank you. Makes me feel good. I do what I can. It's almost like this is like an I'm not trying to be on a I'm trying to say something here. If someone was just watching the video just now, it almost seemed like I'm purposely trying to get compliments to make myself feel good. And if you are new, realize that that's not the case at all. I don't seek compliments. They make me feel uncomfortable sometimes. And it's just awesome that someone thinks so highly of you. And I get it all the time. It's not just Brutally Ravage here. It's Samantha, Julie, my client, Chris when he gets on. All these people they give me compliments all the time. It's just, I don't know. I'm just me. I get it. You start something regarding your ego. Oh. Yeah. Realize it's not exactly what you wanted. Exactly. And that happens a lot in life, really. Where you start something off and you think you're going down one path, and then the slightest thing changes and you get diverted to something else. In 2008, I started my computer business. Things were going great. We were doing good. We had online sales going. Didn't have the best location in the world, but I thought that was going to do great things with it. And then, well, one client shut down their doors, and when they're 83% of your income, well, it's kind of hard to sustain it after that. So, where you're traveling down this one path, you think things are going great, and then all of a sudden something happens. You can do one of two things. You can either give up and say, fuck it, and just be done. Or you can take what life threw at you and try to do something else with it. I took a third path. It was in between fuck it and doing something else. I never really mentally recovered from losing my computer business. I put my heart and soul into it. It was everything to me. And so when I had to shut down the doors, it crushed my soul. In fact, my life went to a downward spiral for 4 years. And then I had a massive mental crash in 2016, and I'm rebuilding myself since then. But I never really recovered from losing my dream. And I wish I would have been able to see what was happening to me and move over to the other path of doing something else instead of traveling down the center. Kind of like a dark genie or a dark wish. You're capable of sustaining yourself on a computer. You're smart enough to figure what you wish out. And I'm confident in that. Looks like you recovered your computer business to me. Kind of, well, 2011 I had the same crash for different reasons. Yeah. The computer business I had was more of a, I built custom computer systems. So I did some acrylic carving on the sides. Like there was this one that we did that had daisies on it. It was amazing. It was awesome. They had acrylic 3D daisies carved into the case itself. And then we did a daisy pattern with the power cables inside it that was above the CPU. And it's brilliant. But it was that kind of stuff I used to do. And we used to sell computer parts and repair game systems and stuff like that. So it was a computer repair business, really. And nowadays it's more centered on writing, freelancing. So not really the same industry, but I've always been into computers since I was 9. My grandma got me on it. In fact, I was 8 on the Commodore 64, which I still have, and I plan on putting that on Twitch eventually too, because it's an original Commodore 64. Let's see how many people on Twitch have that. But I started writing programs at age 9, and I've been into computers ever since. So it's always been a part of my existence. You should start talking about machine learning. Textbooker has their own system with HCAT. I mean, open yourself up. People who are still struggling. Not everyone is a writer, and more people need your help. So, I guess, I want to do some more of motivational stuff, and probably a hell of a lot more upbeat than my stories tonight, because my stories tonight are kind of depressing. But, you have to go through the work to reach a certain goal. And I can't say that I'm not depressed or bummed out or that I'm on the verge of quitting or any of that. And I do have my problems. I'm still working through a lot of shit. But I am far better off today than I have been since I had to close down the computer center. In fact, I think I am better today in many regards as opposed to that. There's more... God, my lips are dry. There's more of a professional mindset to me. And I have a more clear picture as to where I want to be. Not exactly 100% clear, but it's there. I think that you should integrate your motivation with your videos, include your textbooker videos. Yeah, he does in Crossing Colorado. I do. I love doing Crossing Colorado, mostly because I love trolling myself. I've noticed, but he doesn't do it in every video. Yeah, it's I kind of bounce around a little bit. You are like, okay, he's very likable and he doesn't notice it. That is like the 5th time I've heard that since Friday. So a lot of people at WordCamp love me, and I made quite the impression. So I know I'm getting there. It's still a struggle, but I'm getting there. And I think once I'm able to really embrace the greatness that is me, that I would be far more successful. Fifth time sounds like the truth then? Yeah. I know, it should be. But remember, you got that little voice in the back of your head that says, they're full of shit. They're just saying that because you're a sponsor. That they just want something out of you. What is it? So you got all these little things in the back of your head that just keep throwing all these thoughts out. The trick is to just ignore them. And sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. And realize it, you're stronger than that. Yeah, there's, I don't know, there's times where it seems like it wins, but I always come back in the end. So, I'm a survivor. Always have been. But yeah, it's all about trying to figure out how to surpass that little voice back there and just be you. Mentally is the most important. Oh yeah, 100%. Mentality for anything. Like, well, take crossing Colorado. One of the articles I write about is what is the best diet plan for you. It all depends on what the best diet plan is, one that works. And the first step to doing that is to mentally believe it's going to. Because if you look at a diet plan and you think to yourself, that's not going to work. It's not going to. You already convinced yourself that it's going to fail. So always find something that works best for you regarding your own needs and wants. But yeah, mentality, oh yeah. If you're not mentally focused on a task, it's not going to work. So you've got to have that faith that I can do this. You're much smarter than you think you are. And if you weren't helping people during tough times, I wouldn't say that. I know. And I even have a IQ test that demonstrates that. But then there's that little voice in the back of my head. The IQ test was lying. You took the wrong one. Maybe you took a test that was for a 5-year-old. You know, it's just all these stupid little things in the back of your head when you succeed and brilliant, like awesome, I'm brilliant. But then you get those days where that little voice just gets louder. I admire those who help others. You got this. Triple digits don't matter. Who cares? Yeah. Yeah, that's why I still do it. Like right now I've got 6 washing. One of me, one is Sam, one is you. So I don't have the biggest audience, but it's the ones that I'm helping. That's why I do it. I don't need thousands of subscribers or millions of views. I don't need to be ninja on Twitch. I just, like, if I'm playing on Twitch, I play because it's fun. I like interacting. I love this conversation we're having. That's why I'm still streaming. I should have shut down an hour and 10 minutes ago, but I'm enjoying the conversation. That's why I do it. It's about helping people. Exactly. Like, there was this one guy on Twitch. He's a psychologist, and he would answer questions on Twitch, and he was really awesome guy. He hasn't streamed for a while, so I don't know if if Twitch got rid of him because of guideline problems or what, but really brilliant. And there's a lot of people out there that needed help, and it was amazing because this guy was just great. And I watched him a few times myself, and he was very motivational. His tone of voice, the way he approached stuff, it was just awesome. Like, fuck, I wish more people were like that. So I watched Twitch not because of Ninja playing Fortnite. I watched it because of some psychologist in Chicago. So it was awesome. I'm not looking at you because you dinged at me. It's about making others happy. Exactly. Like, I love making people laugh. That's one of the, kind of been melancholy tonight, but normally I love making people laugh. And you can ask Sam. I start getting on a rant, and I can come up with some funny shit. Not always appropriate. Definitely not advertiser friendly. But I love making people laugh. I love engaging. I love making people smile. I like making people feel good about themselves. That's part of my problem sometimes, though, because then the need to make somebody feel good sometimes overrides my better judgment, and I wind up losing out on some things. So, majority of Twitch is a bunch of younger 20s people. They don't understand much. That's, in my experience, that's been a bit true. There are a couple of Twitch streamers that I watch and that I've became friends with. God, I haven't seen him. I can't remember his real name. But he's in his 50s and he's retired. He used to work with real estate, and he retired and decided to start streaming. And we started streaming World of Warships at about the same time. In fact, he's the one that got me into doing the free giveaways. So, not everybody is in their 20s and 12-year-old CSGO players, but there's, the majority of them, it's, they watch some of the stupidest shit. I don't know. I have nothing against PewDiePie, and I think it's awesome that he has such a great audience and such a dedicated force, but I tried watching some of his videos, and I can't get into them, so I don't subscribe. I'm probably one of the only people on YouTube that hasn't subscribed to PewDiePie. But it's, if it works for him, that's great, but I just can't get into it. I agree, my main donator was about 40-ish during my prime. Yeah, in fact, I had quite a few that were in their 30s and 40s when they were donating to my Twitch channel. It's not all the majority of them, man. It's not all of them, it's just the majority. Yeah, exactly. You weren't his target audience. Well, exactly. That's one thing I try to teach people is, especially like on, get me started on Twitter. Okay, so, no, it'll get me worked up. Just try to go a different way with it, because I'll go on a rant. Alright. One thing that really upsets me about some of these celebrities is that everybody bends over backwards to make everybody happy, even if the outrage is unjustified. So, one thing I try to teach my client is that you cannot please 100% of the people 100% of the time. Not going to happen. Focus on your target audience. So, when you focus on your target audience, you're getting what you want anyway, because these are the people that are most likely going to buy your products and your services. Fuck what everybody else thinks. Focus on your core audience, which is what PewDiePie does, and it's brilliant. And no joke, I understand it. Trigger phrase. Yep, I'm about to get triggered. But I'm trying really hard not to, because it just I should drink. I got amaretto here. Give me a couple of minutes and I'll go on my rant. But it's all about focusing on the target audience. Like, the people that watch me are usually, most of my subscribers found me through TextBroker, the TextBroker videos. And so right now, they are my core. They are the ones that are more likely going to watch the content. So, would I aim for a bunch of 9-year-olds playing Fortnite? No. Focus on your core. And I'm trying... Should I just do it? Trying hard not to. Because I still get pissed off about it. Like, if you're going to a Lone Ranger themed party and you dress up as an Indian, okay, no. Not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. Okay. Zen. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. To be honest, we were talking about PewDiePie and core audiences. Anyway, I think I made my point. I cried on stream like twice. Wow. And one time I was streaming on Twitch, I cried too. I was like somebody gave me a $40 donation. That was the biggest donation I've ever seen. It's the biggest one I ever got. And the note that I attached was, "You're doing an awesome job, and here's for your charities," and it was just a great note. And instantly, my eyes watered up, and I'm like, "Oh, that was fucking amazing." There are so many awesome people out there that not everybody sucks. It was really cool. People made fun of me. You learn from it. Oh, it depends on the situation, I guess. Like, I didn't break out into sobbing, bawling, crying, but it came pretty damn close. And it's because it hit me so hard that, wow, somebody gave me $40 just because I was playing World Warships and I was being entertaining. And it just really hit me. Sound like you're a genuine human being? Exactly. You hold yourself back. Yeah. There's times where I have to, especially when I start going off on a rant, because I can get extremely offensive and I can get extremely vicious when I start going, because I can be brutally honest, and it used to piss my first ex off a lot, because I don't sugarcoat anything. If you do something stupid, I'm going to point it out, and I'm really rude about it. And I try not to be, and especially now that I had girls, that I try really hard not to eviscerate them and try to make them do their own mistakes and just not point it out and be as mean as I can be. So having the girls has calmed me down quite a bit, but yeah, it's if I don't hold myself back, I can get vicious. Well, at this point is, how do I put it? If you don't fit a certain role, people get mad. Oh, I agree completely. It's about what's socially acceptable. The fact of the matter is, the world needs more people who don't care, that need the mentality of helping others. Yeah, I completely agree. Like, he has to learn tact. Yeah, exactly. There's times where I'm tactful, but God, when I get going and you do something extremely stupid and it really gets me, then I just unload. But it's not like I'm lying or anything. I'm just telling you what you're doing wrong. Be you. Oh, I am. I try to be. I try to be more professional on Writer Sanctuary. Like, I have the mouth of a drunken sailor, and so there's times where I scroll it back, because I do have a target audience with Writer Sanctuary. It's more professional, more freelance writing, how to help somebody succeed. So I don't start going off the handle and start cussing up a storm and fuck this and shit that. I try to slim it down and be more professional with it, because, well, I'm professional. And YouTube subscribers aren't the only ones watching my videos, because I share it with my client, I share it with my writers, I share it on LinkedIn, I share it with everybody. So I've got a world of business that also watches the videos. Well, hopefully. I know some of them do. But so I have to slim it down for Writer Sanctuary to a certain point. But when it comes to something like Colorado Plays, no. It's both barrels. Considered making a second channel about opinions and motivation. He has two others. Yeah, I have two. I have Crossing Colorado, which is mostly the gamifying fitness and losing weight playing the Xbox. And then Colorado Plays, which doesn't have anything on it yet. And that's because I've been trying to figure out how I want to do the gaming stuff without it seeming like a copycat. There's so many gaming channels on YouTube that I just don't want to be another Let's Player. Even though I would love to play with Achievement Hunter and Let's Play, that'd be fun. And I think I can keep up. Because, yeah, you get a couple drinks in me and I'm pretty funny. Gaming on YouTube is weird now. Yeah, it's... Oh, that's why I love watching Achievement Hunter. Because they do some stupid shit in, GTA. Like the making a ball pit out of cars. That was pretty good. But they're, yeah, hard to make a name. Exactly. They are already established. Rooster Teeth has been doing this for fucking years, and so they're like already at millions of subscribers. And so I don't want to just be a copycat Let's Player. I want to do something different. The problem is that there's so much out there that being unique is really difficult, especially when it comes to gaming. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do a different spin on it, a different take, and give something that no one's seen before. But YouTube is also obliterating partner networks. Cursed network the company worked for. Maybe going out of business. Yeah. Yep, I saw that somewhere. But it's unsettling times. You know, that's one thing. Though, I got asked if I ever thought about running my own text broker like business, and yes, kinda. But what I'd really like to do is build a YouTube competitor. Unfortunately, I don't have the funding to do that, because that would cost all kinds of money, because you have to have servers and shit. But I think YouTube needs a strong competitor to, well, drive innovation. That's why you have, like, take the iPhone and an Android. Because the competition is so great between them, they both strive to produce the best shit possible. YouTube doesn't have that, so they don't need to worry about trying to build the best shit possible. There's some cool things coming out. Like, I like how their beta Creator Studio is coming along. There's still things they need to add to it, but they're still working on it. But if there was a strong competitor out there that was similar to YouTube in every way, you bet your ass they would be doing more to innovate. You can always talk to those who are competing now. There's a few websites. Yeah, there's Vimeo, and so there's a few that are trying to get up there. But I don't know. DLive is getting close. It's really hard to topple the giant. YouTube is one of the most visited websites on the internet. It's only surpassed by Google, and so you've got your work cut out for you to try to topple the giant. But if you can start getting some of these major people in, like PewDiePie or Philip Franco or any of these other really good high grossing stars into your platform, oh yeah, you would see YouTube doing all kinds of shit for innovation. But yeah, if we can get a decent competitor that is more in line with the creator, because the thing with YouTube is that it's not 100% all shit. It's not a shit show. The problem is that you get all of these people get outraged over some things and will boycott advertisers, who then get scared and pull advertising off of YouTube, which then pulls the money away from creators. And so it's a convoluted mess. And there's a lot of creators out there that will do monetization through other purposes. And like, AdSense can bring in some money, but you're not going to get rich. Most of the money that you're going to make from like blogs and vlogging is through some kind of sponsorship program from a sponsor of some kind. Like, if I was like Writer Sanctuary, if I could get sponsored from Grammarly, that would make sense. Or Patreon, or Buy Me. I use Buy Me a Coffee on my videos, but it's those things there that actually generate the revenue. And so there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. But YouTube's not just a shit show. There's just a lot of things going on right now with it. People need to stop being mad all the time, right? It's like outrage culture is getting out of hand. Considered Amazon affiliate links. Okay, now I did have an Amazon affiliate at one point. Problem was, I didn't make a sale inside of, I think it's 90 days. Completely forgot about it. And if you don't make a sale within 90 days, they close your account. So I was going to just have my friend buy something just so that my account doesn't close, but I completely spaced it, and so they closed it. And I just haven't had a chance to turn it back on yet. But now with affiliate links, especially like on a blog, you can only do so much, because like you can get the best affiliate program in the world, but if you don't have the audience, there's a real good chance you're not going to make any money anyway. The average percentage of clicking on a banner is less than 1%, which means less than 1% of the people that see your banner for an affiliate link are going to click it. And then consider that I think it's like 5% of those people will actually make a purchase. So not only do you have to convince less than 1% of people to click that link, only 5% of them are going to buy anything. So unless you have really high super numbers for traffic, you're not going to make a lot in affiliate links. Same with AdSense. They're both the same. If it's closed, are you able to turn it back on? I have no idea. I haven't looked yet. And to be honest, I just really haven't at the time. And that's one thing that Chris Desktop gave me crap about, is that I should have been adding an affiliate link to one of my videos. It was on Crossing Colorado, because I was talking about a video game that I was playing. I'm like, yeah, I should have. Well, when they click on your link, all their purchases matter even after the first purchase, right? Yes, it's for most affiliates will do a cookie on the browser. So like if they just click on the link, it depends on the affiliate. Some affiliates will have like a 30-day grace period where anything they buy within 30 days will add to your credit. Some companies will go up to 90 days. And very few will have it unlimited. So unless somebody clears their cache, you'll make money every purchase they make from that one website. Not all of them are the same though. But yeah, it can be hard to generate revenue from any platform, especially if you don't have a lot of traffic. That's like all these, one thing that pisses me off about all these vloggers who get on YouTube and say how they make tons of money on blogs and how you can make $10,000 a month. The one thing they don't cover is that if you're not writing content people want to read, no one's going to read it. Second is that it takes a stupid amount of traffic to make $10,000 a month. Unless you're selling some incredible e-commerce stuff, you got next level shit on your store that people really, really want, chances are that a basic blog isn't going to generate that. So they get you all hyped up, but they don't really break down all the nuts and bolts that go behind it, because they make it seem like you can just throw up a blog and be rich. And there's no way in hell that happens. Now there's some people out there that can talk about a subject and make quite a bit of money, but for the most part, no, it's not going to happen, especially for a gaming site. So you'd like to talk about Fortnite. The market is saturated with that. So now you got to worry about not just the content, but your competitors. Like if you do a Google search, like right now, if I look at nootropics and I see that, like I looked for earlier for Shyman, there's 4.5 million results all surrounding nootropics, which means if you were to use nootropics as your keyword, and that's what you were trying to score for as a blog, you're up against 4.5 million websites. Now, not all of them are going to be catered to SEO, and not all of them are going to be focused on the same topic, or the same subtopic of nootropics. So it is possible to get higher search results, but you're still competing with a lot of people. And you can do that with any search term. But a lot of these people try to make you believe that if you just follow these SEO practices, you'll appear in the top 10. It doesn't work that way. Not all the time. There's some articles where you can come out with some stellar content and people will just be successful with it. But there's a lot of times where you won't even rank in the top 10 pages. So you can't just throw all your eggs in one basket for affiliates and AdSense, because it's really, really difficult. What's your opinion on the morality of SEO? So I never practiced black hat SEO. I am a Boy Scout, so I try to do everything by the book and try to make everything nice and awesome. And I don't know. There's some things out there. Oh God, like, okay, working for a tax broker. Back in the day, back in 2012, this was right after the Panda update for Google, which means you can't saturate your website with keywords to score high in search results. I would still get clients in TextBroker who would want the keyword every other word in the article, and I'm not kidding. That's not an exaggeration. Every other word. And I try to ask them, Google will not rank your site if you do that. That doesn't matter. That's what they want. Like, all right, so you type it up. That kind of black hat shit pisses me off, but we've all written for some very bad people. Oh yeah, it is. Now there's some. Okay, there's a. I don't do scraping, and I won't. I rarely ever do rewrites of anything like recaps. Mostly because that's Merriweather, by the way. Mostly because recaps rely on specific information condensed into a smaller version. Now, the way TextBroker works is that their plagiarism checker will compare what you just wrote with the original to see if it's, copied. That's what a recap is that it's taking facts from one thing and condensing it into a smaller article. So yeah, Copyscape is going to trigger because they're facts. You can't avoid that. Like if you're writing about Omaha, Nebraska, you need to put Omaha, Nebraska in your content. And it just, God, that pisses me off when people put way too much faith in Copyscape. Now, Copyscape is a good tool. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I use it with my writers for my client, the managers or the writers that I manage. I will compare their content in Copyscape in the checker, the free checker, to make sure that their content is different from the original. And there's been a few times where I've had to throw up some red flags, but so Copyscape does have a good usefulness to it. But when you put too much faith into condensing a recap, like take a 1,000-word article and smash it into 300 words. Most of that 300 words is going to be the exact same as that 1,000 page or 1,000 word article because, you need to put those facts into that piece. And so it just makes me mad. And, I hate it when people try to hot link your images. God, that pisses me off. I even had and I wish I could find the page to prove it, but I had a major gaming magazine rip off the header image of one of my articles from Colorado Plays. It was one of the ones about Battlefront 2, and I could probably find it if I searched for it. But I know it's my image because it's my screenshot of the game, the exact screenshot of the game. And I think I called him out on it before, if I remember right. But at the time, I'm flattered that, hey, somebody went to my website to rip off an image, so I just let him have it. But the hot linking thing pisses me off because then it starts hurting your SEO and it starts slowing down your website. Luckily, the ones that hot link to my damn site are crappy pages no one wants to read anyway, so it doesn't really impact my bandwidth. But, God, I hate it when people hot link. Get your own damn images. What's another one? What's another SEO practice that pisses me off? Oh, Neil Patel. Okay, Neil Patel, he does have a lot of stuff. I liked reading some of his articles. He has a lot of good information for SEO and content writing. I hate his delivery. Now, one of the things he does a lot is that every paragraph is essentially its own sentence. This is to break up the content, make it easier to read. Yeah, it does. But it also makes that one article that you just wrote 1,000 words of go on forever. And I don't want to have to sit there and scroll through the entire page just to find some pieces of information. Now, I do believe that keeping paragraphs to a minimum, or keeping sentences as short as possible and keeping the paragraphs to about two or three sentences at most is ideal. That's what works for all the articles I've ever wrote. That's what works for my blogs. That's what works for my clients on TextBroker. Don't put every sentence as its own paragraph. God, that pisses me off. In fact, if you try to do that on TextBroker, the editors will send it back and have you redo it. You kind of have to read between the lines with current articles, but not everybody gets that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love it. Kirkland sparkling water. full of B vitamins. I'd rather have coffee, but it's way too late for that. Oh, but yeah, those are the top things about SEO that really bother me the most. About Black Hat SEO. Now, me personally, I don't do keyword saturation. Never have. I'd take an article or I'd take a keyword, and then I wouldn't even look at anything SEO related to that topic. I would take that keyword and create content surrounding the keyword itself. So it was more of a natural tone to all of my articles. And this was before Google's Panda update. So essentially, I was ahead of a trend from Google that didn't even happen yet. So sometimes I feel proud about that. And when that Google Panda update hit, the traffic on Out of Computer Center's website went up like 5 times. It was amazing because I wrote exactly how Google was looking for it. So it was pretty cool. A little pat on the back then. Nowadays, it's a whole different monster, and God, that last update in June really screwed my websites up bad, especially the health and fitness one. Crossing Colorado took a major hit in traffic, but my bounce rate and on-page time improved vastly. So I don't necessarily think it was a bad thing. It just looks like Google is making my content appear more to my target audience rather than just random people. So it's good in that people are spending more time on the site, but it's bad because I went from making 30 to 40 bucks on AdSense to 7 or 8. So consider talking about it. Oh, you don't know much about Google Panda. Okay. The Panda update back in 2012 was their start. Was it Panda? Let me look for sure, because I'm pretty sure I'm right. I just want to make sure that I'm not talking out my ass. Okay, yeah. The Panda update back in 2012 was Google's first beginnings to focusing more on quality rather than quantity, which means they started analyzing content before and after keywords, and it was more focused towards providing substance to viewers or visitors. So like, that's a good example would be, instead of being able to saturate your content with keywords galore, because that's what people were searching for, now it's looking for, does the rest of the content of your article relate to the keyword? In fact, Google has removed the keyword meta description as being part of SEO at all. In fact, hardly anybody uses it anymore. That makes sense? Yeah. So that was our beginning to a slew of updates since 2012, all focused on providing the best quality search results to the people who used search engine. So that began the whole mess. But sometimes they change shit without anybody realizing why or how to go about fixing it. Like in June, I was going from 200 visits a day on Crossing Colorado to 40. And I'm like, what the hell happened? So I'm looking through and I can't find anything I did that wasn't aligned with the updates. So I'm like, fuck, now what do I do? Well, the only thing you can do, research it and see if anybody like Search Engine Land or Backlinko, if they can figure out how to fix the algorithm differences. Now, that was for Crossing Colorado. Now, Crossing Colorado is considered a health website because I talk about losing weight playing the Xbox 360. As a result of being related to fitness, it's also considered part of the Medic update that happened last August, in which it dropped even more traffic. That's because a lot of medical sites got hit by the algorithm changes in order to provide quality research or quality pieces for articles relating to your money or your life. And so there's a whole big thing about it. YouTube is super strange about that too. The whole 10-minute thing. Yeah. It's like everybody says that if you hit higher than 10 minutes, then it's a good thing to do. I rarely hit 10 minutes. I mean, if I can... This is the longest I've done a live stream since I did a 24-hour live stream event for Extra Life. But the whole 10-minute thing with YouTube is a little weird. And I don't even know if I can come up with 10 minutes worth of content for the stuff that I do. Because I like to be able to provide information as succinct as possible. Because I want people to come in, say, yep, I learned something, thank you very much, and they can go on their day. But there's some things you can't really do 10 minutes long, like how to install WordPress. I mean, it's really quick and easy. So, yeah. Yeah, it feels like you have to add filler. Exactly. And I don't do filler and fluff content. If I feel something is light, like I said earlier, if I feel that a topic is light, I won't make the video. I need the people who watch my videos to walk away learning something. So yeah, I won't do filler, which is probably why I don't do as good on YouTube as, say, a lot of other people, is because I'm not gonna play their game their way. It's what happens. So one of the reasons you left, yeah, there's a few times where I'm like, why am I doing this? I mean, it's really hard because, yeah, I wouldn't mind having more subscribers and I wouldn't mind being more popular. That's, everybody. But if I'm trying to help people and I have answers that people want, if I have answers that people need that will help them in their life, with freelance writing especially, then I would like my content to get out in front of as many people as possible because I'm a helper. But when you don't play by Google's rules, or YouTube's rules, then you don't get as much coverage. And people are lacking the information that you have. I don't know, I think it's bullshit, but if you have substance, people stay. Yeah, exactly. Like, my videos average, I think they average around between 50 and about 45 and 50% retention rate. So like, some people will watch the entire video while other people will drop off like 10 seconds into it. And I think part of that is because my intro is a bit long. The Writer Sanctuary intro is about 8 seconds long. I love the intro, but I lose a lot of people while it's playing, and so I'm debating on making it shorter or taking it out. But for 218 viewers, you've got pretty decent sustained viewers. Yeah, or subscribers. Yeah. Yeah, and like my click-through rate on my thumbnails bounces anywhere from 5 to 12%. In fact, there's a couple of videos that will have a click-through rate of 25%. So I know I'm doing good in terms of certain aspects of YouTube. And I think part of that is that I need to be more energetic and maybe more engaging somehow. And it's a learning experience. It really is. But I do not want to have to placate to certain aspects of YouTube just so that I can show up in like the featured column or trending now or anything like that. I don't know. I don't want to just add filler for the sake of having a video. What the hell? I got a text message. I never get text messages. Oh. It's Sam telling me to take my melatonin. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to disappear for a second. If I had a commercial roll, I would roll it now, but I need to take my melatonin, so I'll be right back. Well, okay then. Nope. Well, I'm not taking melatonin tonight because I have no idea where it was. So. Oh, I get it. The feature section now seems like a bunch of TV people. Yeah. Sorry, it was scheduled. Yep, it was, I was actually supposed to just do a 1 hour show like normal, but like I said, I really like engaging and talking with viewers, so. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I don't know where the hell melatonin's at. Wonder if I could take some amaretto and just drink myself into a sleep. That's not a good thing. Don't do that. I've lost in the protein cabinet. Yeah, I thought so too, but that's not melatonin. You got the red pills and the other stuff. Okay, you don't need to start. That's my little one telling me. It's not even bedtime. Don't even start. No. Don't do it. No. Anyway. I don't know where it's at. Probably in that. My cupboard up in the top is a mess. So. Yeah. And yeah, it's really hard to break into the YouTube space, but like I said, originally, you know when I originally started doing the YouTube videos, it was for the sole purpose of augmenting the blog. I just wanted to do a video to add to the blog so somebody can either read the content or watch it. So mostly I was thinking about starting with WordPress tutorials. So you can either read how to do something or watch the video to it. So you had an option. I had no intention of, well, I did have intention, but I had no, ambition to have a ton of subscribers. It really didn't dawn on me. It was just meant to be nothing more than a blog augmenting system. And then when I hit 200 subscribers a couple weeks ago, I was like, that's pretty cool. I didn't even think I was going to get that many. And so it kind of morphed into more than what I started off with. It was kind of cool. I have to go through and fix my thumbnails from the before videos, but yeah, that's how it started. Is that I wasn't even focusing on trying to gain subscribers on YouTube and focusing purely on video content. It was mostly to augment the video or augment the blog post so that people had an option. And it was a great marketing tactic. I mean, not only was I appearing in search in Google, but I was also appearing in search in YouTube. So I killed two birds with one stone. But it was really cool that when I hit, I'm kind of bummed out. I had 219 subscribers about 2 hours ago, and now it's down to 218. So somebody thinks I suck, but whatever. But once I hit the 200 mark, it was pretty awesome. YouTube from 2015 onwards just seems unbreakable. Yeah, you can't really break into it because it's oversaturated. I agree completely. Kind of shocked that you got 200, not because you're not talented. But there's so much content is overwhelming. Exactly. Yeah, that's part of why I was like, I got 200 subscribers. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I completely agree. And I see a lot of people, I watch a lot of vidIQ stuff, and I get these new guys that come in, and a lot of them will say, oh, I've got, 20, 30 videos, how come nobody's watching them? And so I'll go in and look at the channel just out of curiosity, and a lot of it is poorly done and topics that I have no idea who would want to search for it. And all I can think is, it's because you're creating stuff nobody wants to see. I'm kind of running into the same problem. Yeah, I'm talented when it comes to certain things, but the videos that I make don't get a lot of attention because it's stuff that's not a hot topic. I don't follow trends like everybody else. Like when PewDiePie started doing Minecraft, everybody jumped on the Minecraft train and increased their viewership. I don't do stuff like that. I do what I think is best for my viewers. What do I want to teach today? And I don't know, it's 90% of YouTube is terrible. God, given the average of the number of channels that are out there today, I'd have to agree. There's a lot of weird shit out there. I love watching Philip DeFranco. He's my favorite. I've been watching him since he was filming in I think it was his mom or his dad's basement. And back in the backward hat days when he just randomly talked shit for like 3 minutes. But I've been a fan of Philip DeFranco's for a long time. And Achievement Hunter, I love Achievement Hunter. Snowmo Guys. There's a lot of really good channels that are pretty popular that I love watching. But then you get like some of the weirdest, like all I can do is look at it and like think to yourself, the fuck did I just watch? I did that the other day. With people on YouTube, there's a certain section we don't talk about. Yeah, the worst part of humanity. Exactly. There's a game I used to play, or a game we used to play back in the day, was 6 Degrees of YouTube. And you'd start off with a video and see where it would go. And it's not as bad as it nowadays because of the algorithm changes, and YouTube pretty much knows what you're looking for, so it changes what you get. But back then, when the algorithm wasn't nearly as developed, you would come up with some you could start off in you would end up in way different places than when you started. It was pretty fun to see where you'd go. Like the crap your youngest daughter watches. I don't know. I wouldn't say that all the stuff that she watches is crap, but a lot of it is geared towards 12-year-olds. And she likes Jacksepticeye, and some of his stuff is kind of funny. I like listening to some of his videos, but he's not something I would watch on a regular basis. It's like with PewDiePie. I'm not his target. That's you can't really fault the guy for that. YouTube is a bad influence on kids somewhat. You know what? It depends on the kid. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of people out there that just talk shit for the sake of talking shit. It just, I don't know. It's like anybody with a webcam. Shit, you don't even need a webcam. You can do it from your phone nowadays. It gives everybody a soapbox. Unfortunately, not everybody needs a soapbox. And so it just turns into some weird, I don't know, just a weird clusterfuck of weirdness. They can accidentally see something they shouldn't. Oh yeah, they don't vet it enough. Yeah, there's a lot of questionable content, to be sure. But like, you gotta figure that with the size of YouTube itself, you've got millions and millions and millions of hours of content uploaded every year to YouTube. There's no way that they could hire enough people to go through every single piece of content, so they have to rely on algorithms and programs. But there's only so much that a program can do. So even though I think they could be doing better, you've got to admit that with the sheer vastness of YouTube itself, that they're not doing all that terrible of a job. They're just trying to tackle this immense monster and try to make it safe. It's really hard when you have that much content to go through. There's times where I get overwhelmed, and my client has, well, let's see, we did 1,000-something articles, and so I have to maintain all of those and keep them updated. So, and that's just blogging. Imagine the size monster of YouTube. No, I'm not trying to be an apologist for YouTube. There's a lot of things they need to fix. But when it comes down to it, they're not really, they got their work cut out for them. It's a lot. But still a rough understanding that. Yeah. And that's what a lot of problems that's coming up recently is because, especially with advertisers, because they don't want their content linked to certain type of, they don't want their ads linked to certain type of content. It doesn't always work out perfectly because of the sheer size of YouTube. And so a lot of these advertisers just pull it because somebody's outraged about something, and then there goes Adpocalypse 3.0. So Yes, it is hundreds of thousands of hours. But you still question if you'd trust your kids around it. Yeah. There's some things that I put my foot down on, and you gotta do what you can. Unfortunately, you can't be over your kid's shoulder 24/7. So, what I try to do is teach my kids the difference between the difference of content. There's some things that are just inappropriate because they're adult, but if you teach your kid to approach it with a rational mind, then it's less likely going to damage. So I feel I'm a believer in preparing a child rather than sheltering. So like, I don't have guns in the house, but I love to shoot. I would rather my daughters learn how to handle a weapon than to go over to a friend's house and play with one. Because even though I don't have a gun, there's a good chance their friends are, especially in a rural area of Colorado. So I would rather my daughters know the difference between right and wrong when it comes to a firearm. That way they can keep themselves and their friends protected. Everybody's outraged about something. Oh yeah, don't get me started on outrage culture. I'll go on my rant. What's your opinion on the YouTube Kids app? I think it has potential. It still needs a bit of tweaking to it, especially since there's a lot of people that are like advertiser friendly and really good that wind up getting flagged from the app. So it's a work in progress. But I know I'll never show up on it because I don't know a lot of 9-year-olds who want to be freelance writers. But hey, I think it's a step in the right direction. They just need to tweak it more, make it more. But like I said, it's one of those things where I don't know if there's ever going to be a perfect algorithm for YouTube, because people are douchebags. They're going to upload whatever they want, and it's really, it's a mess. All we can do is just ride it out. Yeah, flagging has become a serious issue. Yeah, random strikes are really bad on people. Oh yeah, like a lot of people, I'm not one, because my client pays me enough to where I don't need to worry about AdSense revenue or being monetized. But there are a lot of people on YouTube that rely on that for income. When one video gets demonetized, it could really hurt a bank account, especially for a beginner who's just barely starting out and starting to make enough money to where they can quit their full-time job and do YouTube full-time, and then all of a sudden they get demonetized for something stupid. They're not paying their bill that month. They quit their job. They're screwed. And so it's that kind of stuff where YouTube needs to take more of an interactive role and try to fix, because like people like Philip DeFranco and PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, they have such a massive following that one video being demonetized isn't going to throw them in the crapper. But you get somebody who just hit, say, 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers, they're making just enough money now to where they quit their full-time job, and they get demonetized, then that fucks them. It needs to be fixed. Parents need to not let YouTube raise their children. Exactly. Like, I think I let my daughters watch YouTube a little bit too much, especially my youngest. But I try to, I would like to be more interactive, but that one's just a little, I don't know. I think she does watch a little bit too much YouTube. But then again, so do I. Why I'm here. But I also go through the motions of making sure that my kids know the difference between right and wrong in basic ethics. So a lot of parents don't. If only more people had your opinion, Samantha. Oh yeah, about YouTube, the world would be much better. Yeah. Oh yeah, it would be, but it doesn't work that way. Oh, YouTube is somewhat addictive, just having so much information at your hands. Oh yeah, like, okay, so Google, it's great that we now use Google as a verb, but having the internet, being the type of person I am, where I love learning and I love exploring new ideas and running across new things and meeting new people. I love that kind of stuff. So like when I don't have the internet for a day, it drives me absolutely apeshit, because then it's like being denied a library, the wealth of human knowledge. Of course, you have to sift through all the crap, but you still have access to humanity. So, and with YouTube, you can get a little bit of that, because then you can learn all kinds of stuff. Like, anytime I need to fix anything around the house, YouTube. And so you got access to all kinds of awesome information. Unfortunately, you also have access to a lot of stupid information. And there's plenty of crap on YouTube. Oh yeah, the wealth of humanity, stupidity too. Exactly. So you have access to both. So you have to play. You have to kind of go through and sift through the junk to make sure you're getting valid information. Unfortunately. But yeah, it's there's a lot of potential to stuff, but it's really hard, because unlike with Google, you have text-based, and the algorithm for text-based information is far easier to master. Now with video, you've got so many other things that are going on in it, and so it's far more difficult, I think. And I don't know, I think they're kind of getting to a place, but it's still kind of a mess, and they're doing better-ish. I wouldn't know because I'm not monetized, but from what I can tell. Have you guys seen the Reddits that just talk about what's on here? Worst of humanity. I just made, okay, here we go. I just made my Reddit account like 2 days ago. And the only reason why I created it was because somebody was commenting about Text Broker, and I wanted to help out and add my 2 cents to it. So I made my Reddit account like 2 days ago. Now there's been a few times where I'd go through Reddit and like if I'm looking for help on trying to do something. Like recently I've been playing Minecraft Sky Factory 4, and so I'd go to Reddit to find out, well, how does somebody build this generator or something like that. So I use Reddit a little bit as a forum for information, but I don't really dive into some of the places of Reddit, because like Samantha said, there's a lot of stupid in it. I can't say everything is stupid in Reddit, but a very large portion is. Holy shit, I've been on for 3 hours. It's only supposed to be an hour-long show. That's what happens when you have no social life. Well, actually, you are my social life. That's why I'm here. But, you know, if it wasn't really for chatting with you guys, I would be watching Netflix or YouTube. I kind of want to move away from that. I wanted to work on my Wattpad story tonight, but I'm having such a great time with you guys. When you've been around the internet, you learn to ignore things. Yeah. That's why I can never be scammed, is because I question everything anyway, and I know how to look up, like if I get a scam email, I know how to pick it apart and see if it's legit. Like when you're looking at research on the second screen here for a keyword that I'm looking for, I can tell what's crap and what's not. You've been around, let's see, keep writing, man, keep making videos, you got this. Oh yeah, I plan on it. Yeah, that's oh Jesus, Shadow. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to keep going. I hit 218. Looking forward for another 200. Still, I would like to expand more. Get into more of the different freelance writing stuff. And yeah, I do think I'm going to try to add more motivational stuff. Like Shaman was asking, at one point he wanted to know how much I made per month as a freelance writer, so he can get motivation to try to do better. And I don't really like sharing how much money I make outright, but I would like to do more motivational videos to help get someone inspired. In fact, I spent the entire morning working on a motivational blog post that's going to eventually be a video, probably this week. Make this full time. It's going to be a really cool job. Yeah, it's gonna, for me to make this my full-time job, I would have to bring in, hey, at least, well, I don't know, because I love my client. That's really hard. It's a really hard one. I'd have to make quite a bit. Like when I say quite a bit, I'm like between $3,000 and $5,000 a month, and I'm sad. I'm not a greedy person. I just want to pay my bills. So you're paid so little in the beginning. Yeah, like just for shits and giggles, I looked up on Social Blade how much money I would make as an advertiser. Now it's based on averages according to industry and how much AdSense pays out. So right now, if I was on AdSense, I'd make 57 cents per video. Woo! Or per day, actually. So it's like impressive. That was my Fitbit telling me that my battery's low. Oh. I just read part of the conversation from my client. I might have to look that up later. Somebody called somebody an asshole. Okay, you've been around the internet, you learn things. Where am I at? With YouTube, it's all about viewers, but they gain really quick when you get more. It's like feast or famine, kind of. Yeah. I've noticed that is that I keep track of everything, like for videos and for blogs. I love data. I love spreadsheets. I'm a bit of a dork. And every month so far, with the exception of last month, I would get more and more subscribers. Now last month I think kind of was a failure because I didn't produce nearly as many videos, and I was like stupid busy with the new job. I just got promoted. I had to come up with all kinds of different things for my writers, and so I didn't get to create as many videos as I wanted. So I think that kind of played a role in it. But this month I think the growth has been like 20-something%. So every month has been getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, there is truth to that. Once you get that snowball rolling down the hill, then you start picking up momentum and it starts getting easier. Now, from what I've seen, read, and heard from different YouTubers, is that the first 1,000 are the hardest. I'm like, well, that's great because you're not monetized until you hit 1,000 anyway. So once you get to that point, though, it starts getting easier. You get your huge influx of people eventually. Just make sure you take advantage of it when it happens. That's where I failed. Well, I try to follow what's the more important videos and what people want to see the most, which is unfortunately text broker. Now I can't say unfortunately. I love helping with text broker, but I want to be more than just a text broker expert, because I am, and I just have to create those videos. And yeah, it's so I keep track of what's the most effective and trying to break into things like WordPress and creative writing. Jesus, Shadow. And it's a bit of a ride, that's for sure. And Shadow is chewing on my finger. Okay, I'm about to kick everybody out of my office. Wow, 3,000K per month in Ukraine it's like a mafia boss income. Nice. Yeah, 3,000 a month in the United States is it's still considered what, poverty level. Middle class here in the States is like 100 and something thousand. That's just for middle class. I've been middle class once in my life, is when I had the computer center. But like I said, I could be there now, but that's not what drives me. She says it is bedtime. Yeah. Well, she's running from Dagger. She thinks I'm going to protect her. So. Especially in the area you are in. Yeah. Yeah. Odd that society calls it middle class now. I know, right? It's like $100,000 to me is like borderline rich, but I don't understand it. It's like the whole 100,000K is middle class. I can make, well, I've stretched 8,000 a year. And of course I got a little bit of a government assistance out of that, but I was able to stretch that and still live. We didn't have, those were some dark times. But right now, even between 30 and 50,000 a year, it's more than enough for anybody to survive on. So I don't understand why everybody needs so much money to get by, because you don't really need it. I can do it on less. I've done it on less. Many people are poor. Yeah. Too many people are poor. Nothing wrong with accepting help, considering you've helped others too. Yeah, there's we've had to get some help periodically. What pisses me off though is when you make too much for Medicaid, but you don't make enough to afford insurance anyway. So you're like stuck in this little gray area of limbo where you can't get shit because you make too much for one thing, not enough for another. That's where we kind of hovered for like the longest time. And it's bullshit. The system's so busted. Yeah, it's corruption to the nth. Oh yeah, extremely. But the only thing you can really do is try to figure a way out of it. And sometimes it gets hard. But gotta keep going. I just wish it was a hell of a lot easier. Because there's like a lot of people I feel bad for. Not because they're poor, but because of their mentality. It's sometimes they get into this funk that they're not going to make it, and they start drowning. And then you get these people that are so down on themselves, and you can tell in their voice that they're like 5 steps away from suicide. And all I want to do is make it right, and it's just I try, so I try. But when these people get to a certain point, not everybody, but when they get to a certain point and they commit themselves to feeling that way, nothing you do is going to change your mind. It's sad. There's times where I feel like a failure because I didn't help somebody. And there was one on Twitch a few months ago where this kid was just a mess, and I just haven't heard from him since. Yeah, I don't know. The world's a sad place. I view death a little bit differently than a lot of people. I get more pissed off because it's such a waste. Yeah. Some things bother me sometimes. A kid messaged me once about his high school bullying. I did the best I could. Yeah. And when you're not there in person and you can't give them that shoulder and physical connection that they need, it's far more difficult, because there's something to be said about interpersonal interaction when it comes to stuff like that. You can't hug anybody. You can't hug a monitor. You can, but it doesn't work. And sometimes some of these kids, that's all they really need, is just someone to say, yo, I'm here for you. It was much worse than I admit. Yeah. Oh, I bet. You do the very best you can. Yeah. Some things, you get a lot of people who's had a hard life. Like, I had a hard life. I had a hard childhood. But some of the kids I've come across are just, in the long run, my life wasn't really all that bad. Came across a lot at my old job. Your hard life is what makes you empathetic. Yeah. It is what allows you to help people. I agree. That's why I don't feel like... I think the last time somebody asked me if I could change anything in my past, what would it be? My answer was nothing. Because every situation I've been through, every experience has made me who I am today. Yeah, it's kind of fun to sit back and think of what if. Like, what if I would have finished high school? Or what if I would have stayed at the IRS and became... and my original career path was criminal investigation. But then I wouldn't have my daughters. And I wouldn't have the knowledge of certain things that I have today. So I don't necessarily think I would change anything. My life isn't the easiest. It's not the hardest either. And there's a few things I would have changed a couple of years ago. But you can't. So all we gotta do is learn from it. Which is why I don't believe in failures. Nothing is a failure as long as you learn from it. A real failing is if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. It is what allows you to help people. You also have your YouTube, man. I imagine there's a lot of kids you've helped. Well, I don't know, because I don't really do a lot of motivational stuff on the YouTube, and maybe I should. Most like with Writer Sanctuary, it's mostly focused purely on my niche, which is freelance writing. Crossing Colorado is more about gamifying fitness and being healthy by playing games. Colorado Plays is, well, its YouTube channel doesn't exist at the moment. Well, it does, but there's nothing on it. But the blog is focused more on playing games and how to set up OBS and stuff like that. But I guess, with the donations I send to Extra Life, though, I guess in a way that helps. Because that goes to Children's Hospital, so. My opinion is that you should integrate your motivation into your main videos. But opinions are opinions. Yeah, you're actually not the only person that said that. The thing is that I'm wondering how I can build my motivation into how to install WordPress. There's been a few times where I would get a little bit of a motivational tone to it, but I don't know if I can do it with every video, because there's a lot of people struggling when they're looking for money. Oh yeah, you know what? That's a good point. Maybe I can start off with something, something extra would be nice for those that need a push. Yeah. Well, I've already planned on doing, trying to be more inspirational. I think it was Ron who was here earlier, was asking about. No. It was Shaman was asking about a way to be motivated, and so I was thinking, I could do that. And so that's why I wrote the blog post this morning. I haven't published it yet because I still have to add links and images. But it's going to be a YouTube video, and I think you're right. I think I need to be more motivational, I guess. Inspirational, I should say. Because it's really not overly difficult to be a success as a freelance writer on the internet. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of effort. But it's not all hard. Like, when I first started, most of my learning was strictly through Google. I Googled everything. And so you just build up that knowledge from there. So I think I could probably add a little bit to it. Who have you considered collaborating with? I'd love to see a video between you and Chris. Yeah, I think a video with me and Chris would be funny. I think we ought to do a drunken one. That would be fun. So, but I really haven't thought about collaborating, mostly because I'm not sure if anybody would want to collaborate with a channel that has 200 plus subscribers. I'm kind of small. In fact, when they say small YouTube channels is like 1,000 subscribers, I guess I'm micro. But a lot of these bigger people, I don't know if they would even consider it because, well, I'm not really all that big. So, but it'd be fun to do it with some of the smaller guys. Like, I'd love to get together with Chris. I think it'd be fun. You guys should make a podcast. Yeah, in fact, Chris and I were kind of playing with the idea at the beginning of the year, and I was really, really looking forward to pushing it. So, unique perspective. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I would love to do it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so interested in the podcast from WordCamp lately, is because I really, really want to give that a shot. So, I don't know. We'll have to see about that. I still would really love to do it. So, Chris, if you watch this later, hit me up. Oh. In different markets. Too many gaming podcasts now. I'm looking for people who know what they're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a bit of... The gaming thing is saturated, but I'd still love to do it because I just love playing games, and I think it'd be fun. And I still think a drunken playing of Diablo and Minecraft would... Oh, Minecraft, that would be amazing. Drunken Minecraft. Drunken hardcore Minecraft. There we go. That would be an adventure. But yeah, it's just gotta find something that makes it unique, you know? That's probably why I haven't really put too much into Colorado Plays' YouTube channel, is because it is so saturated. But I would still love to get to a certain point and just play. I love to play. I would love to record the... Oh, I should have been recording it. Like in Minecraft, I was playing with my daughters, and I found this village out in the middle of nowhere. And so I was asking my daughter, well, how do I teleport you guys to me? And she said, you type in @E and hit enter. So I hit @E and hit enter. Everything we ever spawned throughout the entire world got teleported to me. It filled up the screen with cows and pigs and sheep and minecarts and villagers. I mean, it was a mess. I had to step back and look. It was just a sea of life. I was like, holy shit. That would have been awesome to stream or to record. But I didn't, so. I mean, you're encouraging people to get new jobs. At the end of the day, even, well, maybe I should read it in order. At the end of the day, even if you're on Twitch, you can still influence people to do better in their life. I mean, you're encouraging people to get new jobs. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, it's one of the things, like, I kind of feel bad for the people that sit on the corners of streets and with their cardboard signs, because there's so much more that they could do that would put them in a far better position. But I don't think many of them know how to do it. And I would love to, like, I don't know, it might be offensive to them or what, but to help them, you know, you could do this and be far better off. But then you got some people out there that do it because they're lazy. Something to be proud of. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's all about. That's one of the things that I love about Writer Sanctuary, is that at the end of the day, when I look at my channel or look at my blog, it's something that I am proud of. It doesn't get a ton of traffic. I'm not the most popular on the internet, but I'm proud of the work I do. I'm proud of what I have built, and I love it. I love it. You help those who want to be helped. Can't help the hopeless as much as we wish we could. Exactly. You know, if someone doesn't want the help, it's not going to work. I've tried that before, and yeah. If someone doesn't want to be helped, or someone is more complacent with the life they have right now, nothing you do is going to change that. And you have to learn to let go. And sometimes it can't. But kind of nudged her off. That's right. She was leaving anyway. Oh, speaking of leaving, it hurts helping those kind of people, man. Yeah, it'll destroy you. Yeah, because you put so much into it, trying to make sure everything works fine. Uh-oh. I was supposed to make a phone call tonight. Sorry. But anyway, you put so much of yourself into it, and for it to fail, then you start feeling like a failure yourself. And you got to realize that you're not the one that failed. They are. If they're not willing to do more, or if they don't learn from the experience, they're the ones that are failing. So, and that's trying to get out of that mindset. Oh, I feel like crap now. I promised them I was going to... What the hell? That's my client going nuts at 9:30 at night. Nope, I'm off the clock. But now I feel bad because I promised him I was going to make a phone call and I didn't. I completely agree, but it's hard to admit. Yeah. Yeah, I get you on that one. There's I had someone recently who left my computer center that kind of did that to us, but whatever. You just gotta try to dust your hands off and move on. Michael, good night. I have to get some sleep. Hang in there. Oh, thank you, Ron. And yeah, I agree. It is way past bedtime. So I'm going to turn this 3.5 hour show off so I can go to bed because it's way past my bedtime. But I would like to thank every one of you for watching, and it was an awesome conversation. We went from WordCamp Denver to, well, motivating and talking about YouTube. So it's funny how you can go down one path and then end up somewhere completely different. We talked about that earlier. So thank you very much, everybody, and you guys are awesome. This here is why I make my YouTube videos and why I have a blog. Good night, Ron. Good night, Brutally. Good night, Sam. Good night, Julie. Good night, Shyman. Yeah. I love you guys. And I'll be doing a video tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be the motivational one, but that's coming out. So let me get this up. You guys have an awesome night, and I love you. I'll have to just figure out how to turn it off. That would have been epic, but I failed at my exit, so good night.